Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? Nice to see you here. First of all, please let me know if you do have audio. I'm doing something a little different. Again, just like I did last night, because there was a little bit of clicking throughout a recent live stream when people were listening to it on the replay, and that was just like crazy. So, and just 1 minute here. Yeah. Okay. Let me grab that. So, hi guys. I hope everyone's doing really well. I saw some of you last night as well. So, what an awesome treat to see some of you guys 2 nights in a row on a weekend. I love it. Oh, thank you, Curious Rose. Nice to see you, sweetheart. I hope you had a nice dinner last night. I'm glad that you were able to do something nice for yourself and, get out and spend some time with some family. So, that's terrific. So, thank you, Kathy. Awesome. So, hi, Muffy Dragon Slayer. How are you? Always nice to see you here. And RR, I am not here. You're so silly, Ara. You're hilarious. You just crack me up. And hi, Kathy. How you doing? Welcome. And a Curious Rose, my darling. So glad you're here tonight. And let's see. Rosie. Oh, I just got that. I had to say it out loud. Okay, Rosie. Okay, very good. I get that. Welcome, Rosie. How are you? And then the real Teresa Day. A Day, welcome. If I didn't say your name right, tell me how to say it. And hi, Edward, how are you? So, I didn't do the extravagant intro that you suggested, but I think that was a really great idea. Maybe next time. And hi, let's see. Hey, Heart 73, how are you doing? Welcome. Oh, let's see. Listening to you all whilst I'm resting, dozing. I think that's a great idea. Definitely get the rest that you need. That is one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves. Hi, Sarah. How are you? Welcome. How are you doing? Hi, Tony Cheek. How are you? Welcome. Nice to see ya. So awesome. So I did not even know until we were doing the live stream last night that the FBI finally released Brian Laundrie's notebook that was found with him or near him, correct? When his body was recovered. I think most of you probably know the backstory. If you don't, let me know, and I can go into a little more of that. But I don't know. What did you guys think? I didn't think they were going to release anything else. I was so surprised to hear that. I was thinking last night, why is everyone asking for Brian Laundrie information all of a sudden? So I went and obviously looked it up after the live stream, and I couldn't believe that they released it. I thought that was pretty crazy. So hi, Michelle Gardner. How are you? Welcome. Nice to see you, my friend. Oh, Ara, geez, I don't even know. Yesterday was the first court hearing. I read two different scenarios about the court hearing. So, Ara, are you knowledgeable about this? I don't want to make you come up on panel if you aren't up for it. But if anybody feels that they are very knowledgeable or versed in what's going on with that first court hearing, feel free to debrief us. I do not know the Gabby Petito case nearly as well as I know the Watts case or some other cases. It is one of the cases that one of the cases other than the Watts case that I do have some content on this channel about. I definitely followed it. Oh boy, Ara. So Ara says, yesterday was a big day in history for many reasons. Now, are you talking specifically with this case, true crime in general, or something, more obscure? Yeah, Rosie, you heard me be surprised because I was. It was a really busy week just in general. I wasn't on YouTube much at all. I wasn't even, up to speed with the Watts happenings. I don't think there was really anything last week, so that was okay. But parents chose to not show up for that hearing. Yeah, that's what I heard too. Okay. So, yeah. So okay, so oops. Let's see. I meant to, and I'll get to that comment. So, Ara says, "Whoops, I keep hitting it. Maybe I meant to go to you." The parents chose not to show up for that hearing. Okay, so that's what I heard. That was what I thought was going on. So, what are the repercussions for them choosing to not show up, both legally and then I guess just in the court of public opinion, which of course means much less. Oh gosh, Dirty Laundry had their lawyer release a note. Oh, and Curious Rose, would you like to come up by chance, my darling? I would love to have here. I'm going to put the link in chat. I would love for Curious Rose or R to come up, or if anyone else wants to come up, you're more than welcome to here. Whoops. Oh, it's this one. Okay. Gosh, I was just looking up some information about confessions and true confessions, false confessions, the weight confessions have in court. Obviously in this case, well, it's a much different case because Brian Laundrie ended up committing suicide. But here's something interesting that I found, guys. In doing all of this research, I struggled to find information about true confessions that are made because the person confessing actually did the deed or committed the crime. The vast majority of information out there, at least that which you can find through, a few hours of Google searches and then some extra things too, is all about false confessions. There is so much research, so many studies, so much evidence, so many statistics and data about false confessions, but it's very difficult, except for in the world of psychology. And maybe that's because I knew where to go to find the information about the psychology of confessions. Everything is about false confessions. I know recently, Netflix, has been doing their documentary series on false confessions of, oops, sorry, I just got a weird notification. And I don't know if that brought this idea of, false confessions being so widely talked about more into the mainstream, or if that's something that has always been. I don't know. I'm going to welcome up a Curious Rose. Maybe she'll know because she knows a lot of things. Hi, Sherry Claiborne. How are you? Hi, Tampa Supreme. How are you? Welcome. Hey, girl. How you doing?
Hi, welcome back. Feel like I haven't seen you.
I know. I didn't talk to you for a
I
few
know.
days, and I was like, it felt weird. I was like, oh my gosh,
I
I
know.
haven't talked. I
Busy
was
week.
like,
I think a lot of people.
I need to just tell her I'm really busy, and I'm sure you probably were too.
It was a busy week. It
Yeah.
really. I think for a lot of people, it was just a busy
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, it was. And for a lot of people, I know, well, here in New York, it was the last week of school if you have a
Right.
school-age child. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's always a really big deal.
It
And,
is. It is.
I don't know, a lot of other things going on.
Yeah. It was.
So,
It is always the end of the school year. It just seems everybody tends to get busy, whether it's parties or just want to go to a graduation. I was bogged
right.
down with like some family stuff. So yeah, it flew by.
Yeah. So I just want to, Ara just made this comment in chat here, and she says, false confessions happen more than you think. And that they do. And I actually, I don't want to put it up right now because I'd rather get into some like meteor stuff. But in the research that I had been doing, well, just today, because I just found out about this yesterday, I have all kinds of statistics for you about false confessions, and they really are stunning. Even though we know that there's a high prevalence of false confessions out there, just from being people who are interested in the true crime world. We know this, right? But the actual number is quite shocking. So,
Really.
yeah. So
That is interesting. I'd love to hear about that.
thought it was. I thought it was.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, what do you know, girl? What do you
Oh,
know about what's
I
going
followed
on?
it. I followed it because it was heartbreaking.
You followed it closer than I did, so
I
please
did. I
tell us
did.
what you know.
Well, I did because I think I had already kind of, like if you had already done the Watts thing, prior, like this was
Sure.
just something new. But then when you really, like, it was almost, we were in real time watching it when she was still
Yeah,
missing. So it,
that's
like,
right.
you could not help but just feel so heartbroken. Especially
Yeah.
when, like, they said her boyfriend was home. You just, like, you knew. This is not going.
Oh,
This isn't going
yeah.
to end well. And how could he do that? And then when
Right.
then you get into her Instagram. So
Yep.
you can't help but just fall hard for her because she was
Right.
such a nice,
Such a
kind,
sweetie
beautiful,
pie. Yeah.
beautiful girl. And
Yeah.
I think that really is what drew so much of us in. Was it's like it's real time we're
Yeah.
watching this, and then we're also falling in love with her at the same time because of her
Yeah.
content and what she released one damn like video on YouTube. Like she didn't even get to have a
Yeah.
chance. The poor little
I
girl, you
know.
know.
And it's like, I really, just in the little that you got to learn about her, like I really was rooting for her. I wanted for her to live her dream. She wanted to be,
Yes.
she was into, nutritional counseling or whatever it's called. And
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you're just like, I know you can do it, girl. You can do it. Woohoo. I'm cheering you
Right.
on.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Yeah, you do
yeah.
want to be like that. But
Yeah.
then when they released the video of the law enforcement pulling them over, oh, and that was before she was found.
Yeah.
They released
Yeah.
that tape of him and her being pulled over, and I think that's what really just drew us in.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
I think so
the
too.
worst.
That was,
Watching
oops.
her
Hold on.
crying and
Oh my
blaming
gosh.
herself, and then he's like gaslighting her when he's talking to the cops. She's talking to the cops, blaming herself. It was hard. You saw how skinny she was when she got out of the van. It's like, oh my god,
And she just
you
looks so scared, and he just looks so damn cocky,
he was
like
so cocky,
really.
so cocky.
Yeah.
And you watch her
Yeah.
drive away, and you think, oh god, this is it. At the
Yeah.
beginning, you're like, he probably killed her right after, then you're looking at her Instagram and you're like, okay, all right, geez, well, after that, she only, posted uh, less than a
Right.
handful of times. And then when the mother came, talked and said, we don't even believe that was her texting
Right,
us at
right.
the end, the last few texts. So you fell harder and harder every little bit of information they were releasing as it was coming to them. Basically, they were putting it out there,
Absolutely.
and you just could not help it.
They were, and they were clearly a family that there was no false pretenses. They had nothing to hide. They just wanted their baby back.
They did.
Like
Oh,
it was so
yes.
clear,
Yeah.
it was clear to the world that that was all that there was to it.
Right. And
Aw.
her parents knew something wasn't right.
Right.
We don't know what her last phone conversations were even like with her mom.
Mhm.
Before he was gone back to Florida, he left to go back to Florida on the 17th of August, supposedly
Right.
to wrap up. They had some storage unit or some. Who knows if that's even true? So she was alone for a few days. So you're hoping that. I hate to say it, like her last probably week of freedom, she maybe
Yeah.
told her mom, I want to come home and maybe have some time apart. Like we don't know what
Right.
other than the parents knew something was going on between them, and they had bumpy days. Well, yeah, but for her mom to say that, I think she probably did know more than what we know her and her mom talked about. um,
Sure.
you hope. I really do hope she was venting to someone and not holding it
Yeah.
in, so that because that's a
Yeah.
heartbreak that
Yeah.
bothers me totally.
Oh,
And
poor
it'd be
girl.
scary to be in that huge park with just him. The
I
fear. I have
know. I
fear talking
know.
about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
gives
It's
me.
hard. She was so, she was just so sweet. She was so innocent. She was such a young girl. I mean, like literally
She
such a young
was
girl.
right.
And
I mean, she
you
moved to
know,
Florida to be with him.
mhm.
Ugh, like
Yep, that's right.
and then to hear her friend speak, and her friend seemed sweet too and really, cared
Mhm.
about her. The friend was very honest and just said he was a very jealous boyfriend. And
Yeah.
if he didn't want her to go out, he would figure out a way to prevent her from going out, right down to whether he took her license out of her. Like he was dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
no, it sounds as though he was.
Yeah.
Now, so here's, for people, that just need a little background here. So Gabby Petito, she was reported being missing so it was September 11th of
Yeah.
2021, but it had actually been some time before that that her family had heard from her. They had been growing suspicious. And then she was finally reported missing. So it was shortly after that time when Brian Laundrie he headed back home, right? They were out west. He headed back home east. And then he just, fell off the radar, right?
After he went on
And
a trip, he did a camping
right,
trip with his family, bike
right.
rides in the
That's
neighborhood.
right.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
It's
I mean,
I
your,
know.
your letter then says how much you loved her. No,
Yeah.
that's not what love's about. We don't do that if we're in love. We don't leave someone, first of all, let alone
Oh
come
my
home
god.
and not then just blurt out everything you just did that's so horrible. Instead,
Right,
who knows if he did or didn't tell them, but they go away. They camp,
right.
they bike ride, they buy a new camper. I mean,
Mm.
none of it could ever point to signs that he was remorseful, depressed, that like none of it.
No, and oh my gosh, so you're touching on some of the things that I wanna talk about later
Mhm.
after we look at a few things
Okay.
that,
Cool.
in my mind, really connect
Oh.
it's very rare for somebody who had murdered another
Hmm.
to give a confession, whether, that person is in prison, whether they're free, hopefully not, whether they've committed suicide, it's really a very rare thing to give a confession, even
Hmm.
if some of the details we know are sketch, that actually accounts, holds himself accountable for the crime. It's a really rare thing.
Yeah.
So when you're comparing Brian Laundrie's confession through this notebook and then Chris Watts' confession as we had heard it through those interviews, there's some striking similarities that I think gave us some really big insight into these chickens' personality. I don't know. They're
Hmm.
just like very interesting people. So here, I'm going to bring something into the feed
Okay.
really quickly. So this is one of the things that I had posted about the Gabby Petito case. This was way back in September 17th, 2021. So the title of this live stream was like live FBI Brian Laundrie officially missing.
Hmm.
FBI is in the family home. So this is on September 17th. So this is only 6 days after Gabby was reported missing. But again, remember, she was actually missing for longer than what she had been reported. And I see you coming up, Ara. I'm going to grab you in 1 second, my darling. Yay.
What? Oh, good. Pause keep it.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So here. So now this also was the part here. Did I bring the right one in?
Let's
Yeah.
see this.
So this was the part where you talk. Well, here, let's just listen.
Hmm.
Hmm?
I mean, it's worth showing you, of course, if there's any developments there at the Laundrie household, but now a search is underway for Brian Laundrie, and it goes well beyond clearly just this one particular block of Northport, Florida. It goes beyond Northport. It goes beyond the county here. It's really the entire Tampa Bay area, the entire state of Florida now is going to be on alert for Brian Laundrie. And if you don't know his face, it's right there. If you don't know his face by now, you haven't been online a whole lot.
Ugly ass face.
This is a story that I've talked to people everywhere who, even folks that I know personally that aren't usually plugged into the day-to-day news cycle, if you will, and that know about this story. So Brian Laundrie's face is everywhere. Gabby Petito's face is everywhere. People are looking for Gabby, and now they're certainly looking for Brian Laundrie here. Let's get to some of the questions here in the Facebook Live comment section and then on Twitter, in the replies section on Twitter, as well as on YouTube Live to our YouTube audience. You guys are the hardest because your comments are scrolling through so fast. It's hard to spotlight your comments, but we're going to do our very best here to answer questions and continue to have a conversation here for you. But let me make this perfectly clear for our audience here joining us. We have access to a lot of feeds. I can swivel my camera around, it would show you. We have a lot of feeds here, or at least access to a lot of feeds. If something develops, I hit two buttons and we're there live. So stick around here for us. The reason is now because we've now entered this very bizarre phase where everyone is standing out as far as law enforcement to look for Brian, and it's going to be expensive. And we don't know how long the search is going to take, but at least police, law enforcement have a starting point here. With Gabby, you're talking about national parks. You're talking about a very vast area of the country. With Brian, he drove the van here as of 24 hours ago, or let's say 30 to 36 hours ago. Police knew where he was. So there's a starting point there. And you would imagine that with enough agencies involved, the FBI, state police, local police, really the entire world looking for Brian Laundie,
Okay, so I just want to make a point here, and you guys in chat are saying really great things. Many of you know more about this case than I do. I'll just be real honest about that. I'm cool with that. If anyone wants to come up and share any facts, please feel free to do that. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you just don't want to do that, I'll try to share them through your comments. But here, Lobo says, narcissists don't like their significant other to have friends. They want to isolate them. So that was just so striking to me that I read that comment as, here we're seeing as soon as Brian Laundrie went missing, even in death, the focus turned away from Gabby and right onto him, exactly where he wanted it to be. You know, it's like we couldn't, the world couldn't even focus on, being worried about her, looking for her, mourning her, whatever the case is. He, even in death, had to take that spotlight away from her. I think that's just wild. That says a lot to me. So
her parents.
Yeah. Oh. Hi, Ara. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Ara.
Good to see you, Miss Kelly, again. And Akira feels I missed you. Good to
Hi, honey.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me again. I'm not gonna go crazy like I did yesterday.
No, you didn't go crazy. I loved having you up there. Without a curious rose, I was like, I'm doing a lot of talking again. Come on, somebody. I like it when other people, I like to give the spotlight away.
That helps too. It's hard to do the chat and the live. It's nice to have.
Yeah. And it's also just, I think it's more interesting when people can hear perspectives from other people other than just me. I don't want it to be the Kelly show,
No, it is. I agree.
Yeah, totally.
But okay, so ladies, check it out. Why?
Okay,
I never understood why. I mean, I'm somewhat well versed in the case. What I'm learning new is about this notebook. What I never understood why they put her in the back of the police vehicle and never him. He comes out when he approaches the cops. He's very confident. You could see his body language. His chest is out. He's just like, oh, my girlfriend's just being crazy. And he was trying to connect with these police officers.
And he does.
Know how it is. You know how it is, guys.
That's right.
He does. So dirty. So dirty.
He does. And I feel like he mastered that situation. The police went right into his plan.
He made them look stupid.
He did. I agree with that.
Well, he found a way to relate to them. Like, you know how it is with chicks are crazy, right?
Exactly.
Well, they were talking about their wives then, and when their wives get out of hand or not. What? Like, you were watching it like, is this really?
Shame on them for that way while they know that they're being recorded to their professional capacity,
Yep.
Gross. Just gross.
I wonder if these men have female children of their own. These police officers.
The one did, because he said, I have a daughter your age.
Oh,
I remember that.
Gives him hell.
I thought, oh God, is this how you would treat her? You would send her off. The girl's crying that she doesn't even like to drive the van, and you're telling her she has to not only drive it, but she's going to be alone tonight.
But she's the one being put in the back of the car. I mean, I understand maybe they just wanted to cool her off, maybe to make her comfortable. Why put her in the back? Or why not?
Well, okay, go ahead.
Rose. No, go ahead, Kelly. Go.
Well, I think something that I think about that, and that did strike me as well, Ara. But having reflected on that a little bit, not in a while though, but the way I made sense about it, always playing devil's advocate in my own mind, at least so I can try to figure things out, is, well, probably I would imagine, hopefully, that they were following protocol, and their number one objective would be to separate the two. So this might be the natural flow of how to separate them. Gabby was willing to go sit down in the back seat. Maybe there was a sense she needed protection, and that was protection for her. Maybe. I don't know. This is devil's advocate side here.
I think that's a good point, but putting her in the back doesn't make her feel like she's being protected. It's more like she's being, she's the one that's wrong.
Somebody in the front seat.
You can't go in the front.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's why I think they kept, She
definitely was just so scared. I don't think they realized she probably never got in trouble like that ever.
Oh no, I don't think
Let
she
alone
did.
you're nowhere near your home, and that you're right in the back seat is where you go, even though in your mind she's saying he hit me, but look where I am.
Right. I know in New York State there is some kind of a law. People would not be permitted, a civilian would not be permitted to sit in the front seat of
Yeah,
a
we're not either here.
yeah.
Pennsylvania, same.
So yeah, so that did make sense to me.
And I
But
was just
yeah,
playing
yeah.
devil's advocate myself, y'all.
Yeah, no, no,
Yeah.
no. It's good. You've got to think that. It's all good. It's all good, girl. Yeah. Yeah. And so that DTC Primetime said the door was open. I think they were trying to make it was, obviously these situations, I think hopefully they know through their training that these can be very sensitive. They can be very
Mm.
volatile situations. And hopefully they were just trying to do what they knew to be necessary through their training to keep both parties protected and to keep the situation clear. I don't know if that's what happened. That's what I would hope,
And they didn't immediately take her right back to the car. They tried to first stand kind of outside, and she really started to have a true anxiety attack. And she started to cry and get really red. And that's when they said, "Come on." I think they thought like maybe we should get her out of the sun. And she looked like she was definitely going to pass out or just have a full, anxiety attack. So I think at the beginning maybe their intent was separate, find out what's going on, and then in the meantime of trying to find out what's going on, she did have an anxiety. I mean, we watched her have an anxiety attack.
And they're like in the middle of the desert or
Yeah.
something. They don't want her to fall over or dehydrate, and then that's on them.
And she looked like she could fall over
Yeah.
if you blew on her. She could fall over. That's how
she was
frail
little.
she lost a lot of weight.
Frail. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
She was suffering. She was a girl suffering mentally and physically. I mean, she looked when they gave her the water at the end, like she was holding on to that water like it was gold.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she wanted to go for water, or like I don't know. I just feel like there was a lot of mind games. He was probably playing with her that day.
I think so
Do you guys
too.
think
Now,
that
oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, ma'am.
No, you go ahead.
What I was going to say, do you think that sometimes people ignore their real relationship problems because they really want, to make money off of their online presence and
And she told the cops that he doesn't think I could do this. That's sad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's sad. She had no one. Obviously, maybe she didn't have many people she was venting to. She was venting to the cops about him just like telling her you can't do it. And she said his vibe was so like negative. She was giving them some signs though, like this isn't normal.
She's trying to live up to this standard that she's projecting out to the world that I'm happy, we're traveling, everything's cool. She's trying to live up to that.
She just wanted it to be over and done, and they were going to both be on their way together. And I think she got more into realizing, like, oh God, no, don't do. And then when they told her you could be the one arrested, I wanted to die.
I know. That was
her mother.
crazy.
When her mother's like, when I
God.
heard her say that, I wanted to crawl through the TV and tell her, "Come with you're okay, daughter. You're okay, little girl."
Oh God, I know. Oh, the heartbreak. Oh my God, that was wild to me. I mean, that was clearly wild. I mean, Brian and Gabby's their position in that relationship, the power position was very clear throughout the police interaction with them, in my opinion. I think that, and even if they were thinking that, I think perhaps observing her state of mind and that she was having anxiety attack, maybe they didn't need to say it,
Right. Yes.
There was just so many things that were done wrong.
And they're so young. They're so young. People that are so young and then they're alone together and then they're trying to travel across the country. I mean, they're still learning how to be themselves. And then they have to learn how to be themselves with each other and then travel. I mean, that's so much stress on
that's too much.
A young person.
That makes me sweat just thinking of that. Yeah.
Oh, wait, just really quick. Lobo, please go take care of your friend. I am so sorry that's happening.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah, I know. So please go take care of that and tell your friend if I had an extremely crazy, insane situation like that once upon a time. She needs anyone to talk to about crazy situations. Have her get a hold of me. I'm sorry she's going through that. Please send her our love. Sorry, guys. I just saw that and I wanted
I know. I just saw that too.
Yeah.
You need me to call some friends? I know some people, Lobo.
Yeah, I believe Ara does. I do believe that. I believe that. I think she does. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, All right, I just wanted to check on a couple of these comments here because these are definitely, and welcome to everybody who I haven't said hello to. I see a bunch of new people here that I didn't see initially. So happy you guys are here. So, if you weren't here when I said this before, I think a lot of people in this chat right now know more factually about this case than I do, know some more of the details, the ins and outs. I don't know this case like the Watts case. I've been following it. I covered it a little, but you guys, wow, there's a lot.
Yeah, there is.
So let's see. Rosie, you said something I wanted to catch. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to go back far enough. So the real Teresa says an autopsy showed trauma to her head also. I believe he hit her with a huge rock and wrote in the notebook like she just fell and that was an accident. Oh my God. Maybe we should listen to the note. We should listen to read the notebook.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Can we go to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So how we're going to do this, I put out a video earlier. I don't know if you guys saw this. It's the 8 pages of the notebook and I just read them out loud. So are you guys cool with doing that? Do you want to go all the way through it or we can stop whatever
I like
you guys
the way
want
you read
to
it.
do?
I thought you read it really good and nice, clear, straight
Thank
through.
you.
Yeah, and I watched it and I really feel that there were some sections that you felt really passionate about. So if you want to just emphasize those parts that really stuck to you in some certain way, I think that would be great.
Yeah. I was telling Lobo earlier, I had trouble getting through it. I really had trouble getting through it. I don't normally react that way, but I really did have trouble getting through it. So, all right. So let me bring that into, let's see, where'd you guys go? Let me bring that into the stream then. No, that's not the one. Yes, that's the one. No, that's not the one. That's not the one. Okay, there's so many. There's Brian Laundrie. Ben, like I said, I don't know this as well as all the Chris Watts stuff. So I'm like, I'm not in my normal territory here. There we go. Okay. All righty. Let's go back to the beginning. And I did my best reading this. There were some words, as you can, I'm sure, see that were totally smudged out, not legible. I just read through it once, in my head, and then I read it out loud. So this is what we get. I did my best.
Okay.
I wish I was right at your side.
That looks like he was writing it, or someone was writing it over a knee or a rock or something. You see how it curves?
I thought it was over a knee.
Right
yeah. That uphill and down. It's weird.
That's interesting. Yeah, I was wondering why it was like that, but I didn't have that thought. That's very interesting. Okay. Gabby, I wish I was right at your side. I wish I could be talking to you right now. I'd be going through every memory we made, getting even more excited for the future. But we've lost our future, and I am without you. I've lost every day we could have spent together. Every holiday, I'll never get to play with some word I can't read again. Never go hiking with TJ. I loved you more than anything. I can't bear to look at our photos, to recall great times, because it is why I cannot go on. When I close my eyes, I will think of laughing on the roof of the van, falling asleep to the sight of the meteor shower at the Crystal Geyser. I will always love you. Page 2. If you are reading Gabby's journal, looking at photos from our life together, flipping through old cards, you wouldn't want to live a day without her, knowing that every day you'll wake up without her. You wouldn't want to wake up. I am sorry to everyone this will affect. Gabby was the love of my life. But I know, stored by many, I am so very sorry to her family because I love them. I consider her younger siblings my best friends. I am sorry to my family. This is a shock to them as well, a terrible grief. Page 3. They loved as much, if not more, than me. A new daughter to my mother, an aunt to my nephews. Please do not make this harder for them. This is an unexpected tragedy. Rushing back to our car, trying to cross the streams of something creek before it got too dark to see, too cold. I hear a splash and a scream. I could barely see. I couldn't find her for a moment. Shouted her name. I found her breathing heavily, gasping my several words, about 10 words, are smudged out. Then it says, the blazing hot natural parks. Page 4. In Utah, the temperatures had dropped to freezing and she was soaking wet. I carried her as far as I could down the stream towards the car, stumbling, exhausted, in shock when it's smudged out with water, and knew I couldn't safely carry her. I started a fire and spooned her as close to the heat. She was so thin, had already been freezing too long. I couldn't at the time realize that I should have started a fire first, but I wanted her out of the cold, back to the car from where I started this fire. I had no idea how far the car might be. Page 5. Only knew it was across the creek. When I pulled Gabby out of the water, she couldn't tell me what hurt. She had a small bump on her forehead that started getting larger. Her feet hurt, her wrist hurt, but she was freezing, shaking violently. While carrying her, she continually made sounds of pain. Laying next to her, she said little, gasping between violent shakes, gasping in pain, begging for an end to her pain. She would fall asleep and I would shake her awake, fearing she shouldn't close her eyes if she had a concussion. Page 6. She would wake in pain, start her whole painful cycle again. That I was the one waking her. She wouldn't let me try to cross the creek. Thought like me, would go out to her sleep and she'd freeze. I don't know the extent of Gabby's injuries, only that she was in extreme pain. I ended her life. I thought it was merciful, that it was what she wanted. But I see now all the mistakes I made. I was in shock, but from the moment I decided, took away her pain, I knew I wouldn't go on without her. Page 7. I rushed home to spend any time I had left with my family. I wanted to drive north and lost James or TJ and let James or TJ kill me. But I wouldn't want them to spend time in jail over my mistake, even though I'm sure they would have. I ended my life not because of fear of punishment, but rather because I can't stand to live another day without her. I've lost our whole future together. Every moment we could have Shared, I'm sorry for everyone's loss. Please do not make life harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter. The most wonderful girl in the world. Gabby, I'm sorry. Page 8. I have killed myself by this creek in the hopes that animals may tear me apart, that it may make some sort of her family happy. Please pick up all of my things. Gabby hated people who litter.
Ugh. Ugh.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, like, seriously, I was reading chat, as we were going along
Gabby,
there. Oops.
I wish I was right at your side.
Okay. So I
Oh,
just
God.
want to, the quick summary, I guess I have of that is, I just put in chat, when I'm just looking at the more global kind of overview of his personality type and what he's trying to do here. He has all of the cover my ass of NK and but I did it for everyone else, to be a martyr for everyone else of Chris Watts, and all of that to me is total bullshit. I mean, all of it is total bullshit. That's what it is,
He's trying to be emotional, but says, please don't litter.
Right.
Bullshit.
And he did, just like I can end up comparing everything, of course, to the Watts case. I've been so immersed in it, but just like NK did it with her letter after the fact, that 8-page letter was it? Yeah, 8 pages. I'm like all 8 pages now that she gave to law enforcement, after everything was all said and done. And she went through and bullet pointed and itemized all of the places where she would want to be, oh, well, this is where I was at this time. This is why I did this. This is why it was a total cover my ass. I see that very much in this letter as well. I mean, just the range of things that he's kind of covering here. He's touching base with everything where somebody could possibly raise suspicion about him. And then there's more obvious stuff, just like freaking a mercy killing of your girlfriend, of a human being.
We don't mercy kill. We're humans.
We do that to animals when you go hunting.
Yeah, we don't mercy kill humans.
And if you're me, not even that, well, mercy, I guess. But yeah, like not even, like seriously, come on. That's just like so.
Yeah, he's really, really stretching.
Makes me want to throw up. Yeah.
I know.
Ugh.
He just wants to be the good guy.
Yeah.
He's victim playing. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to make right of everything he's done by pointing out everything he's done was done for a reason.
Exactly.
Not taking responsibility.
And that's him. He was never going to ever say he did wrong by, everything he did, he basically is telling us he did out of love.
Yes. And Ara, you asked the question, said, what is there a name for somebody who, oh gosh.
We call them victim players. We just call them, I know that was the term I learned in psych nursing, that because they're like, you have to be really careful, especially caring for them. It's like 2 nurses at a time. You don't ask. Yeah, they're really manipulative.
It's no longer about her. It's like, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for me.
And like my answer to that question was, it is, of the top criteria for any number of personality disorders. Oh, hi, Nancy Ann. I didn't even say, are you still here, honey? I just went way back. Oh, I love my Nancy. Yeah. So, oh God, it's just, I don't know. So, all right. So I'm going to try to work through the chat, like go back. If you guys see anything in chat that you want to read.
Okay, you know what, Kelly? I found the definition. I just wanted to make sure I was saying. Okay, so victim playing is the fabrication or exaggeration of victimhood for a variety of reasons, such as to justify abuse to others, manipulating others, a coping strategy, attention seeking, or diffusion of responsibility. He's all of the above.
Right. Yeah.
A person who it's a person who repeatedly does this is known as a professional victim.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Yes, definitely.
Now, let's see, Rosie, and just jump in anytime, guys. I'm going to kind of be hopping around, but she says someone called 911 saying they saw Brian chasing and hitting her on the side of the road before that traffic stop, and the cops didn't know. I have the interview, actually. It's in my files. I saw it earlier. I could play if you want me to. Some woman, did any of you see this? Where she posted a video. She's like, oh my God, guys, seriously, my boyfriend and I, we saw Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito like just before she went missing, and she was
Yeah.
describing how things went down, and I totally believed her.
Was
Apparently,
that the
this
one in the
woman,
restaurant?
yes,
Yeah.
yep, that was
Yeah.
that one. I'm gonna see
Yeah.
if I can find that. I have it in my, I have the
Yeah.
file here
I
somewhere.
thought I
Yeah,
liked her. I mean, she was credible. Her and her boyfriend were credible.
yeah. And
Uh,
she was just describing it as, him being very controlling, angry, volatile, her being maybe a little, submissive, maybe a little frightened. The whole situation from this woman's perspective, very dysfunctional, very not okay, very unhealthy, very kind of scary,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kelly,
Yeah.
would you mind checking the private chat real quick? I think it's important
Oh, yeah.
in this
Oh,
moment. I'm
oh,
sorry, I don't
yeah.
mean to interrupt you, but
No, of course. My God. Yeah. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, totally. Yeah, definitely, for sure. Awesome.
Edward,
That's
she will say Molson Man theme song. Just hold on.
yeah. Listen, man. Yeah, let me go over to. Oh my gosh, you know what I forgot to do? I'm so sorry I forgot to do this. I don't know if she's here, but Jennifer Bradford, I was supposed to make her a moderator, by the way. Are you here, Jennifer? And she sent me an email and everything like I asked her to, and I just got caught up doing something else, and I just forgot to click that button or whatever. So I'm sorry about that, Jennifer. Yeah. So totally, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
So
definitely are.
yeah. I've got to get my phone here really quick. So, hey, Rose, for a second, would
Yeah.
you mind grabbing some comments to read?
Oh,
There's
sure.
so many good comments in
There
here.
are.
My God,
No.
people said awesome stuff. I'm like, I don't even know what to read.
No, that's okay. I'll look. Let me just go back a little bit too. Oh, someone had asked if we knew what date people started protesting in his yard. I think it would be around that weekend of whatever, the 12th, 13th, like around then, September 13th-ish. Look around then, because it was after her father found out he's home with the van and she's not, and that's when they reported her missing. And once they reported her missing is when it all came out that she's still not back, but he is, and people just went insane over that. So it's definitely after September 11th. I'm thinking it was around September 13th when they started to gather outside. I forget who even asked that, but it was a good question. They were just wondering, but.
And imagine what would happen to NK if people knew her new name and her new address. That's why.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, seriously. I'd be there. I'm just kidding. Maybe I would. I don't know.
Your heart would be there.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, DTC brought up a good point about it. How many weeks they had how many different agencies searching for him. And within a half hour of his parents entering that reserve, they start to find his belongings pretty quickly. It didn't make it just seemed so staged. We'll never know. But, when they picked something up and they handed it to like law enforcement or something, you wonder, was it that notepad? What was it?
And I was under the impression that Chris Laundrie actually did find something that was like he was the one that found something that was.
They did. Yeah, they did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Like, you just wonder now after the contents of that letter, if, did Brian really write it? Who knows? But nonetheless, like the parents just found it like nothing. They walked in and boom, they start falling over evidence. Meanwhile, a month went by of every type of agency trying to find any clue. And it was just, to me, it seems so too perfect.
They canvassed the area
really
where he was
covered
found.
that ground. Yeah, exactly.
They found how about they found the cup, that cup that she had in the van that you see on their video and you see in her photographs, that was in the reserve on the ground that another YouTube channel, two creators found and then brought to law enforcement in Florida, and then they took it in as evidence then. At
Well,
first, when they
yeah.
first found it, they showed it to the cops and they said, "We think this is Gabby Petito's." And the cop, that the lot, whoever the agency was there in the reserve, said, "We've already scoured. That's not part of what we collected." So they went right to the police station with it, and then showed pictures like, "This is what we're telling you is in her videos and her pictures, as you can see here." And it was just out there, and then they took it in.
and it was a YouTube
That's
creator that found the
right.
van.
So these officers, these
right.
agencies were really laxed.
They were, or something strange was going on. Now, Turquoise here says, Brian Laundrie put the stuff in this letter to try to get some heat off his parents, in my opinion. And it does. I don't know. I kind of see it both ways. I'm wondering what specifically, if you don't mind answering, Turquoise or anyone else, in this letter, like, makes you think, oh, like he put that in there to take the heat off of his parents. I think that there is that in there. I think there are some things that kind of go the other way too.
Yeah, I don't think he thought this out enough to realize, like, you're just really setting it up for you really doing it all. He does say, so what does he say? Like, don't make it harder for my parents, or don't, I know he does mention his parents some way in that note. I forget.
In the note?
Very briefly in the note.
Yeah.
But he does say something about not making it so hard, for something to that effect.
Yeah, no, here, I'll find that. There were a couple parts that I wanted to actually, kind of highlight here. So that's one of them. Let me just get to, I think I know where it is.
September 19th is when her remains were found.
Right.
Okay. September 19th.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Oh gosh. I didn't even realize, my goodness. It seems like that, from the time she was reported missing to when her remains were found, there was only 8 days.
And the autopsy report is right on target, where it says her body appears to be 3 or 4 weeks left in the wild. Like, they were spot on with her being done with that weekend of, like, August 27th, when she was last seen, right around those days. It totally lined up then with his timeline.
And it was the day before that, September 18th, is when they were officially searching for him.
He made it about him too. Then it's disgusting.
Yeah. Now, if I may be so bold as to tell you, like, what, it sounds to me like what happened here. It sounds to me, and I mean, some of you might be like thinking, like, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like, to me, if this is obvious, sorry, I'm going to state it anyhow. That he, something happened. She probably got, maybe a little traumatic. Like, seems like he made her nervous. It's also, I think, her age. I think it's her personality. I'm not saying it's a bad thing about her, but she probably got a little energetic or whatever, a little maybe, dramatic. He freaked out. He just acted in rage. I certainly don't think it was planned. I think he did something terrible. He realized what he did could not be reversed. And that's all there was to it. I think that there may have been some, I don't even know. What I'm thinking is, like, really actually, like, a hard thought to have. So, and then there'd be more details, but I think that's that's the basic structure of what happened. I mean, does anyone think anything different?
Oh no, I agree.
Kelly, I'm going to jump down and just keep an eye on chat, okay?
Yeah, and I did that what you asked, by the way.
Okay, I'll be here though, but I'll be in the chat, y'all. I love you guys so much.
Love you.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure that our members feel safe.
Yes, please do. Oh my God, everyone be cool in chat, freaking please. This is like, there's different people here.
Ladies.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.
There's different people here this evening, because it's not just the Watts case. So please, especially if you're like a channel regular person, please make people feel welcome. You're one of, like, our, you're part of our welcoming committee. So that would be great. So this is the part you were talking about, Rose. So it says here, okay, so they loved her as much, if not more, than me. A new daughter to my mother, an aunt to my nephews. Please do not make this harder for them. This occurred as an unexpected tragedy. Rushing back to the car, trying to cross the stream
of I still can't.
I know
think of the
it's
word.
hard.
Before it got too dark to see, too cold, I hear a splash and a scream. I could barely see. I couldn't find her for a moment. Shouted her name. I found her breathing heavily, gasping, my smudged out, you know. So he's, this is one place where he does mention the family. He's saying, now, please, do not make this harder for them. Yeah, it's just all so hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's really, yeah, this is just like, so hi, Diane, how are you? Diane said his writings were complex. He was well enough to go get her help, but he was extremely selfish. In the end, he got desperate. There was so much pressure on him. Okay. So, all right. So, do you think that, he just straight up murdered her like in a criminal way, or that it was more of this kind of merciful act as he's trying to portray in this letter?
Yeah, definitely not merciful.
So, yeah, block that person. Block. Feel free to block mods. It's all good. So let's see. Oh, thank you very much, Dan. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. And welcome. Oh, I just said welcome to you, but welcome again. Welcome, double welcome. Let's see. So Jeff, hi Jeff, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Jeff says, let's see. I think this letter has altered truths. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious to see.
It.
Yeah, I agree
Great
on
way of
that.
putting it. Yeah, I do
Well,
too.
supposedly there's a different type of write up by him, digital, which means he put it in one of the phones has another letter of what happened.
Oh.
And, yeah, the family that's what her lawyer called up the WFLA News and Brian Enton. There is another digital letter which varies from the written letter, as well as an envelope that Roberta also sent him that was taken into evidence when they raided his house. It was taken out, and just the front of the envelope said burn after reading, and it was from Roberta to Brian.
Oh, damn.
Yes, yeah. Brian Enton had a lot of good information today when he came on, and he debunked so much because he's the one that went there last year and retraced her steps.
Who was it? Because I want to watch it.
Brian Enton, ENTIN.
Okay.
He's with News Nation.
Awesome.
He even showed the video. He walked through that creep last year.
That's right. I watched him.
Yeah, he's like, he's a liar. It was not that hard to get across it at all. He said, and he said literally it would have taken him at the most with her 10 minutes to cross. He said everything he is saying is not right. He said, and I had perfect cell service. He said, you're not even that far from a major highway. The service was perfect.
I remember him saying that.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Now Rosie says, who seems to be very knowledgeable about this case. Thank you so much for contributing here. She says, they believe she was murdered approximately August 28th.
Yeah.
I believe, and she was discovered September 19th. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's in line with what we were.
It is. I mean, she was at that restaurant. That Mary Piglets was the 27th, late afternoon. Something weird happened. Gabby went back in supposedly asking for their money back. They did not give her money back.
Right.
And then after that is when they were last seen. He was seen on the 27th in the van at that spot at the parks. A girl saw him in the van and thought it was a little weird that he was there alone, but whatever.
Yeah.
She said, never really. You don't think too much into it.
Right.
She'd seen the van there on the 26th, I believe, the 27th. A couple days, and then I think it was by the 29th or by the 30th it was gone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, which would also line up with then. Yeah.
Goodness, I forgot I was looking for that one video, and then something came up there. I'm still checking that out right now.
Okay.
So I just pinned a comment. Can you see it? I can't even remember what it was.
Let me see. No.
Okay, maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm lying here. Let's see here. When I get a moment to
Okay.
look, I'll do that.
Okay.
So let's see.
And towards the end of the note, like when he mentions like about TJ, he thought about just driving north and letting TJ or Brian shoot him, but he didn't want them to go to jail. Like, how dare you? First of all, don't ever say the names of her brother or her stepfather. Like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
You're disgusting.
I know. That's so disrespectful. Now, Blue Silver says, I was thinking this too, Blue Silver. Blue Silver says, if her wrists and feet were also injured, it does sound like she was fighting him or trying to fight him off. So this really, Blue Silver connects, I think, with what Jeff just said, that there's altered truths in this letter. And then picking up on what you're saying here, Blue Silver, I think you guys are exactly right on point. It's just like, the way that I view what Chris Watts did when he was retelling the story. I think he's like a total liar. But if even for the organization of his own mind, he needs to stick kind of close to some semblance of truth, right? So, and this is what people who are pathological liars will tend to do. They will embed some truth into their lies, basically so they can be believable. I think that's generally what the technique is used for. So I think, in him saying something about her wrists hurt, her feet hurt, when I first read that, I was like, how strange, believing at that point in the letter, already believing that this was like, for the most part, a work of fiction. What a strange thing to mention. And so then you think, okay, well, this is one of the places where there's probably an altered truth. So if there was an altered truth, why would her feet and wrists be hurt or injured, right? So
unless
yeah.
was she running away? Like, you don't. The coroner does say, long after he strangled her to death, he did continue to beat her. That is part of the coroner. The coroner, the report in Wyoming, they don't. Their lies they do not hand out full autopsy reports. They give the bare minimum. But that is one of the things he came out and did say later.
So that,
I know.
So that makes sense then, guys. Why?
He was trying to cover his tracks then.
Yeah, why Brian Laundrie fashioned the story the way he did, because he's like, okay, well, they're going to see that she had injuries. She had an injury and she had injuries that were separated in time. Whether or not he thought they're going to see that she possibly had injuries even post-mortem. Oh my God. So that's why she already hurt himself. She already hurt herself. She was in great pain. She was suffering. She was gasping. So much pain, so much pain, so much pain. And then he did whatever, so that is covering his ass.
Yeah.
As far as, what a medical examiner might find. It all makes, seriously, it doesn't make sense what he said, but when you look at the facts and look at what he said, he's very transparent, really, I think.
Yeah. He just had a very long fit of rage. The throttling strangulation stopped, but he continued, whether he was hitting her head off a rock, he threw a rock at her, whatever, he continued, because she had blunt force trauma in a few areas. They don't get super technical because, like I said, they don't hand out the full report, but she did have more injuries after her breathing stopped.
Oh God, that's so disgusting. Welcome, Barbara, and welcome, Sarah. Nice to see you guys. Welcome. Yeah, that's just, So I'm going to read. A face in the crowd says he's not accepting responsibility, but excusing it. He's capable to end and wait, I'm sorry. He's capable to the end and a coward in true form. Yeah, I totally agree. And again, this is one of the parallels I see between he and Chris Watts. It's like he will not accept responsibility. He accounts for himself what he absolutely has to because the facts demand it, but he will not accept an ounce of responsibility beyond what is required to make the facts kind of sort of make sense, and just a true coward through and through. And, it's like everything, he did, it was because he was compelled to do it by some other force, and everything that he chose to do, he was doing it for a valiant cause, for the benefit of others. It's just
so righteous and bogus and disgusting.
Yes, it is.
Goodness. Let's see.
Oh, you're welcome, Blue Silver.
Let's see. Verified social. He was very negative. He was very negative about
Terrible.
everything she was pursuing, which, you know, of course, guys, I mean, just in a very, you know, basic, like, let's try to learn a lesson from these things is, you know, if anybody in your life, or if you're observing another person in the life of somebody that you care about, and they're just being negative about everything that's close to your heart, just like freaking, they got to go, right? Like, we know that they've got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, geez. So, Green Eyed Bandit here says, new here. Welcome, Green Eyed Bandit. First time. If I recall in the video with police, Gabby told them she was working hard to get her site up, and Brian Laundrie didn't believe in her abilities. He wasn't supportive of her. Exactly. You're totally correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Got to go. He's got to go. I mean,
Yeah.
she was so young. Of course, you know, we only could, you know, in a different universe, we would pray, we'd help her to know better. But, you know,
I know.
poor thing. I mean, she's just so freaking innocent. Then Ara says, great question though, Ara. So what, you know, in light of what Rose just told us about, you know, those really hard facts about what was revealed about the autopsies, Ara says, why would he be so angry? Like, right?
Doesn't
That's a
take
good
much for that
question.
personality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, we saw how, you know, we already discussed how he was able to so easily manipulate and control law enforcement. And, you know, he really had Gabby, you know, fearful, anxious, and kind of, you know, in this hidden away place. When he wanted to feel something, he was going to feel it all the way. God damn it. Because that's what he did. It was all about him. Like, he
Yes.
wanted to have rage. He had big rage. Like, you know, yeah, Rose, it's like the personality type.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Master manipulator. Yep.
oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Okay, hold it. So I'm looking for a file. So if anybody wants to talk or
reading too, yeah.
you go for it, girl.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I keep like, I've got to get to that because
Yeah, he didn't. Tia Marie says because the cops got involved, people saw him, you know, the way he was nasty with her. Others were trying to, you know, would try to protect her. He didn't like that. That's why he hated her friend. You know, he didn't like Rose because that's where she would go when they would fight. And like when you heard I forget how many times when they asked Rose, well, how many times do you think that happened that she came here, you know, to get away from him? And I swear it was a lot, like 10. And that's a lot. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But she, you know, she was living, you know, they were living in one of his parents' apartments for a while. They were living with the parents. So, and even though her dad had moved there to be closer to her, I don't think she was comfortable to go to her dad when they had problems because her dad used to give him a hard time and bust him. Because he just said that's what every good girl's father does. They bust the guy that, you know, their daughter takes home because you don't want him to get too comfortable. And I loved her dad when he said that.
Yeah.
So you can see where that would not be the house that Gabby would have felt comfortable to go to when she wanted to just bitch about Brian acting like an asshole, because her dad would be like, I told you so, you know, in a loving way, but it would make sense to me. You're going to go to your friend. You're not going to go to your dad and stepmom.
Well, she was also just at like, I think she was just at that age where she was trying to find her own independence, and she wasn't going to, you know, go back and admit to her, you know, yeah, you were right. He is kind of a dick, you know?
Right. Yeah, you were right.
So, yep. Oh.
Blue Silver says, do you think because Brian wrote that his family had knowledge that he killed Gabby, will they also be facing criminal charges? They talked about that. I know Brian Enton talked about it today, you know, possibility of like an accessory after the fact. I know they said that. They weren't really saying the talk today was just really about the fact that he, even in death, he's like totally victimizing it, and he gaslighted even in his grave.
Yeah. Oh God, that's just, he's real freaking winner.
Oh my God, he's so disgusting. I did find that video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it through YouTube
Okay.
to make sure that we get sound on it. So in
Okay.
just a couple minutes,
Okay.
we will have that video of that account of the woman who just ran into them in a restaurant. And I remember just seeing this when right after it came out, and I was really
Yeah.
like I thought it was compelling
I know.
personally.
I did
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So that'll be good. All right. I just got to get this all set up here.
I mean, he made his way hitchhiking. He'd been in 2 different cars on the 29th, saying that he needed a ride back up to their site, that his girlfriend was back at the site writing her blog. Oh God, like unreal.
God.
Meanwhile, she was dead.
I wonder if after that happened, if in all of the accounts I've heard of, what he said, I've always wondered this, if he stayed with, relatively in touch with reality, or if he had like some kind of a psychotic break. I mean, I could see it legitimately going either way, even with his annoying personality.
Mhm.
That was a wow,
Yeah.
So I don't know enough
I
to
could
have
see it
any
being a
idea what
psychotic
it
break.
is. Yeah.
I definitely could.
I think I'd lean in that direction, if anything, even though I
Yeah.
know very little. But
Yeah.
does anyone else have any thoughts on that? I don't know. I don't know if anyone
I
else
mean,
even thinks
because
about
when
that.
he says he was spooning her, I could see him spooning a dead body. It's disgusting to say,
Yeah.
but why did
No.
when he says that, it's like, you freak.
Well, that's exactly what I was envisioning when,
Yes.
I mean, it just, and again, it's just like, it's like those little bits of truth, like Jeff said so perfectly. It's altered truth. It's exactly what Chris Watts did.
Yeah.
It's, you bring those little bits of truth into your lives so you can organize it yourself. And so you're thinking that it's going to come off more believable that way. Oh, good Lord. What is wrong?
Tia asked how old he was. I think 23, right, Kelly? I think he was 23.
Yeah, it's right. I'm not sure, honestly.
Around there. I
Right
think
around
so.
there.
I'm not positive, Tia, but I think 23. Double check, but I think that he was about 23.
After I get this video situated, I can check for you, but it's something right around there. Yeah. Where'd this go?
Yeah, he was 23. Thank you, guys. And she was 22. They were babies.
They were babies. They were babies with their whole life after. I mean, it's just, this is a hard one. I really just never, it just like really hit me upside the head that this came out. I did not think it was going to happen. I just never thought.
I know. I didn't think we'd ever see it. I didn't think we'd see it. Because it drove you nuts. Like, I followed it for so long. I'm like, you're not going to show us like phone records or not, like nothing. We're getting nothing from this. Right. And it was quiet for a while, and then boom, we get this.
Yeah. And I thought they were going to be able to maintain that somehow. I did. I didn't know how, but they were like, all right, sounds like it's gonna happen.
But I guess this is her parents. This is the only way maybe that they felt any type of evidence would get out there, backing them into a corner.
Yeah.
We'll try to get you in a civil case, and I hope it does go, because this is just preliminary. The judge told them he'll be in 2 weeks. They'll know his answer if there's going to actually be a trial next August of 2023.
Now, Rose, what is the deal with his family not showing up to court? I heard different takes on that.
They didn't have to be.
Okay.
They didn't have to be. It was only a civil preliminary to decide if this is even going to go to a civil jury trial.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. That makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
Because I was just trying, my intention was to like try to get the whole picture, but, and then in doing so, I got myself a little confused because I didn't have enough like solid foundation, I guess.
Yeah.
So
now the part about this letter, so his parents and his lawyer released this. Now, the problem is her parents are upset with it, but they said, why release this now to what? Stray jury, to make it harder to get a jury pool. And that's exactly what Brian Ensign said today. Why did his parents do this? They hadn't done it prior. Today, we just literally, they had just got out of the hearing. They had a meeting, and a half hour later, this was released. His parents are that sick, though, to think this will get us somewhat like sympathy. I mean, it's not. But
well, so let's talk about this. So what was there? I mean, initially several things come to mind and none of them totally make sense to me, but I could, what do y'all believe their motive was for releasing this?
It made sense to me that Brian Enton said, like, if they were trying to get sympathy and sway a jury.
Okay.
So it's going to be hard to get sympathy, but it could sway a jury. People are going to be like, yeah, I saw that letter. So whether you saw it or not, it could be a reason why we're not going to pick you then. It's going to just be harder to pick a jury.
Mistrial.
And,
no.
It's yeah.
Dang. I don't know.
They're just despicable people.
I mean, it's all just so, I mean, it's all so disgusting and dirty. It's just hard to wrap your head around.
Because her parents were saying nothing, and then her lawyer called into WFLA yesterday during a live and said, listen, if we're going to be so transparent, can someone ask Roberta and Christopher where's that other alternative letter? We have copies of it. We know we have the copies. They have the original. Are they going to release that? And are they also going to release Roberta's letter? And that's when they said, which the envelope has burn after reading. Because supposedly they had said they wanted to release this letter to be transparent. Well, and her parents, I guess, flipped. And that's when the lawyer said, they're not being transparent until they release all letters. We have copies of all letters. That's have the letters. Yeah.
That is so wild.
It's wild. That is why what a roller coaster this is for her parents. Jesus.
Oh my gosh. I can't even. Oh my God. I can't. Oh,
I know.
Just seeing them up there talking, about, pleading for help and, finding what happened to her with her picture. Oh my God. It's just so.
I know.
This is crazy. I wonder, now that this has come out and there's some court activity going on with this case, how much this is going to be out there. And I mean, what is, it's almost, I don't know. I don't know. Do you have any idea?
No.
Does anyone have any idea? Because at this point, it's just going to be all about his family. And I don't know.
Unless there must be enough evidence that the family is very sure that once all the evidence is displayed and presented, we'll get a full picture as to what happened. That's the only thing I could think of, because this is her parents suing them. So it's not for money. We know that they want the truth.
Right.
And I guess they felt we're not going to get it from these people, and they're certainly not going to release any type of records or documents. This is the only way we're going to get them to talk.
Yeah, it's interesting how in our justice system, civil procedure has become this kind of like fallback to the failings of any kind of, criminal justice being properly executed. I mean, in this case, I guess it's that he did commit suicide. So, but so many times, families of victims will have to fall back on civil remedies because the criminal justice system did not do right by their loved one. That's really not how it's supposed to go. It's sad. I mean, I guess it's good that there's something there, but it's just, I think it's just sad. And that is why I think it's so important that people are always talking about matters of justice and pursuing justice for victims who can no longer speak for themselves. I will always believe that and stand by that, because our justice system is not right as it is, but if we don't help uphold it, it's going to completely crumble. I just think it's just very important for all of us to do our part.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, this video is almost done. Let me come check chat. I'm popping in and out. Hope I didn't miss. Hi, Molson Man. I moderated you, Molson Man, just so you know. You have powers. You have all kinds of powers. Molson Man. Let's see. So, a face in the crowd says, whoop.
Unfortunately, social, what is this? Is aiding, preventing true justice. There'll be more BLs because of it. Plus, all those people descend upon the community. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Tia Marie. Where did you go? Thank you, Tia Marie. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think it's so important. I just always I've talked about this before. I come from a family of law enforcement and lawyers, freaking through and through. It's insane. And it's just I've watched it. I've been, I guess taught these values, and I've seen it. I just have come to believe in it after a long time of not believing in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really think that we all have a responsibility, even if it's something just very small, doing the right thing, standing up at the right moment for something you believe in or whatever. We all need to do our part. It's our responsibility as a member of this society, I think.
Oh, yeah. These stories matter. These people matter.
Yeah.
Gabby mattered. And you didn't have to know her to feel that.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Jeff said, I think mentioning the movie or book, Burn After Reading, is just a response coming from a quick thinking lawyer. Okay, so, all right. So I think that most people were just thinking it was a message, but also then connecting it to a deeper message.
Yeah, because their lawyer knows what inside the envelope says, and it's to the notion of basically, if you're put in jail, I'll use a saw to get you out. And that's what Roberta wrote to Brian. So more is gonna come out, but that's what's in that letter. That's part of it. The lawyer didn't have it in front of him. He said, "Don't quote me, but I'm going to let you know what the gist of it is." Mm-hmm. Roberta writing to Brian,
very wise.
If you put in jail for it, I will use a saw to get you out.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Oh, there is a lot to this. Rosie was saying that like way earlier in this stream that there's like so much backstory, and honestly, some of these things I haven't even touched upon. I followed the story. I know the basics of the of what happened. I'm aware of the matters of justice here in this case, but you guys got a lot of goods. Seriously, I mean, they're not goods, but they're details.
So much came out just in one day yesterday. I mean, because this was a dirty move on their part to release this note. So I think at that point, Gabby's parents were like, "Go for it."
Oh boy, yeah.
And and the lawyer called right up to the TV station and just started unloading.
Good. And I'm glad they feel empowered to do that, because my God, the suffering they've endured, nobody should have to. Right. All right. So we're going to watch this. This is, just watch. This is somebody who I haven't watched this video in a long time. I'm not going to even introduce it. Just watch this. You'll see. Okay. Oh, okay, that's this one. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Oops. Excuse my French, but I'm freaking. Matt and I just realized, because I'm a freaking dumb that did not put two and two together, that we not only saw, but saw like a blowout of a situation between Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie in Wyoming when we were there. I'm freaking out. Yes, we have already talked to authorities. Like, how I did not put two and two together that this happened. Like, I don't know. So I'm following this case. Matt's not. He's a guy. He could probably care less. I'm filling him in on this case a couple of days ago, and I guess maybe he Googled it and saw a picture of Brian. Matt has an insane photographic memory. And so for 2 days now, he's like, I know that guy, Brian. Like, I don't know how, but I know this guy, Brian. Like, I've seen him before. When Matt says that, anyway, we were in Wyoming. So Matt woke up this morning and he's freaking out. And he's like, oh my God, I know how he looks familiar. Nina, we saw them in Wyoming. They were the couple fighting at the restaurant. We were at this restaurant, you guys, Friday, August 27th, 1 p.m., sitting right next to them. They got kicked out of the restaurant and were fighting with the hostess. They were fighting with the hostess. She was hysterically crying, and she walked out, and she was crying, and she was staying on the sidewalk, and I was watching the whole thing unfold. And he walked back in the restaurant, and he's fighting with the hostess, and I didn't know what happened. I don't even know if they got kicked out, but they like left abruptly, and like she was standing on the sidewalk crying, and he walked back in and was like screaming at the hostess, and then walked back out, and then he walked back in like 4 more times to talk to the manager and to like tell the hostess off, and like all right. Calming down, and I'm going to try to speak more clearly.
So this was her another day.
Or if they're uploading in order, or make any sense. I'm just like freaking out right now. I'm having like an out of body experience. How I did not remember this situation, like it just like left my memory. Like we stayed in Wyoming for another 4 or 5 days for a wedding, and we just had like an amazing trip, and like I didn't think about the couple fighting in the restaurant ever again. But Matt like knew he had seen this guy before, and he could not drop it. And then it just like clicked this morning. He woke up out of bed, and he was like screaming bloody murder, and he was like, oh my God, I know, I remember it was them in the restaurant. And it just like, I felt like my blood like left my body. I was like, oh my God, like you're right, like it was them. It's just crazy. It feels surreal. Like now I feel, I don't know, just it was weird. And I remember this. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm going to try to go like more into detail now. I just wanted to get like the general, just like the gist of it out there. I feel like I'm going to cry. This is so weird. I went to the bath. They were sitting right next to us, like right next to us. And we were both sitting right by the hostess stand, right by the front door. I went to the bathroom. I came back, and they were like abruptly leaving. Like something happened. At first, my first thought was like they were displeased with the service and they were walking out, or they were trying to get out of paying their bill. But it was kind of like a scene. And I was like zoned in for some reason. And Matt was like on his phone, and I was like, babe, like put your phone down. Like something is like going on. You guys, it was like a scene, like something that doesn't happen every day at a restaurant. The way he was acting, she was crying, she was upset. This had to have been right before she died. So she walks out, she's upset, she's crying, and he's like more angry. Like you could tell like it's more sadness for her, and she's crying for some reason. I don't know if she was embarrassed or what, because I don't know. I couldn't hear. I don't know what was going on. I could just see what was unfolding. And so she's standing on the sidewalk. I could see her through the front door, and she's standing on the sidewalk crying. And he walks out with her, but then like right away turns around, walks right back in, and he's, you know, kind of like violently like talking to the hostess, and you could tell he's angry. And they're just kind of like doing the whole like sorry, like we don't know what to tell you kind of thing. You could tell he was relentless. He wouldn't drop it. Whatever it was, he wouldn't drop it. He walked out. He walked back in the restaurant probably 4 more times, just to kind of make a scene and just to get his point across, which, you know, I don't know what that was. I really don't know what happened, but she just apologized. I think she was telling him like, come on, like just drop it, let's go. And she like looked at the hostess, and she was just like I'm sorry. And that was it. And it's just like I don't even know. I don't even have words right now. It's just weird. It's crazy. And I would have never remembered that. I would have never, like, I was so obsessed with the case and the story. And like, I didn't even really think for the longest time at the fact that we were in Wyoming at the same time as them. Like it didn't even cross my mind. And that story of like a couple fighting in a restaurant, or that, you know, that situation, I would have never thought of that. Like I said, Matt, he just has this like extremely like strong photographic memory, and it just hit him. And without a shadow of a doubt, I'm 1,000% positive it was them. If you think it sounds crazy, like, I agree. It sounds crazy to me too. Like, I'm still in shock. Like, I can't believe that this happened. I can't believe that we not only like saw them, like we didn't just see them walking on the street, like we witnessed an incident, like a whole like ordeal. Like it's crazy. And I didn't put this out there for attention or for any other reason, for any other ulterior. I didn't have any motive. Simply just wanted to put this out there because, 1, it's crazy, and 2, I hope that it helps with maybe adding the timeline together of what happened leading up to her death. And that's it. So
you guys, I don't know what to say. I've never experienced so much hate and negativity and cyberbullying before in my life. I'm a mom to a little girl, and if something like that ever happened to my daughter, I would want to know every event that took place leading up to her death. And not to mention her family even came out saying just that. I would never lie about something like this. Unfortunately, it's not something that we connected the dots on immediately. It was 3 weeks ago. We were there for a wedding. It was something that happened, and we didn't really think about it again. It was as if you were at a restaurant today and you saw somebody acting as so, and you'd kind of be like, okay, that was weird. And that was like, the fact that we didn't connect the dots sooner might seem strange to some people, but it is what it is. That's how it happened. We got hit with a Category 5 hurricane towards the end of our trip. We're from New Orleans. We couldn't go home. We had to evacuate. Our lives have been a little turned upside down. We just got home. We were just able to return home. We just now started becoming slightly interested in the case and hearing about it. And it was
Okay, so this girl, she just continues on and on, much about the same. But so Diane, I see your comment here, and I just want to pin it. And hi, welcome, sweetie. Welcome to live stream. Diana says, I wonder why you're experiencing cyberbullying. You sound ecstatic talking about it. Abused people's worlds revolve around the abuser most of the time. We should have zero tolerance for abuse. Now, Diana, listen, that's such a really awesome point. I'm so glad you made it because that is so true. My take, I just want to give you my impression on this woman because I understand, like, I followed this a little bit when this video came out. She really was, this woman, treated very badly and like very, very crazy badly. I really think like she said, she was just like, oh my God, I'm having an out of body experience. I'm like totally like, bugging out. I think that her personality probably was just to be like a little on the hyper side anyway, and since we don't know her, this was just my take on her. But I personally found her to be authentic. So I just wanted to say that. So that's all. But everyone has their own take on it, of course. Yeah. So let's see. Hochi Winner. Hi, Hochi Winner. How are you? Says that's her personality. She's just a bit hyper. Yeah, she's
Yeah, she is.
But I think she's like really nervous. I mean, if like put ourselves in that situation, that would be really strange, right? Like I don't know how I'd react.
I would. You wouldn't, because you say it's not mind your business. Like unless someone's being hit, you're not breaking up. Maybe if it looked like they were arguing, you don't do that. We just don't do that.
Yeah, no.
If it was something worse,
Rose, just one sec. So Rosie, I am so sorry. I don't know what's going on tonight. I don't even know what to say. I just wanted to acknowledge that.
Jesus.
I am so sorry.
Oh.
I think you have my email, but let me just give it to you anyway. If you need anything, I'll now give you my personal email, but just for the live stream, okay? So very strange stuff. I'm very sorry. I don't know what to say. Wow. I'm putting in chat right now. I'm sorry, Rose, to cut you off there.
No, that's oh my God.
All right, so there it is. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. No. Go do what you have to do. Please email us if you need anything, and we're here. I'm so sorry to hear that. Wow.
It's terrible.
Gosh, there's crazy stuff happening.
The world is crazy.
Oh, it is. So Barbara Warren says, I found her authentic and emotional. Yeah, authentic and emotional.
Did you watch one of the girl that hitchhiked that picked him up hitchhiking? Cal, do you have that one too?
I think I have that one too. Yeah, let me check really quick. Here, I'm gonna go check on that real quick.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look at the
chat here. And you check that out. Gosh, crazy.
Yeah,
stuff.
Vicky, I agree, Vicky. I would have reacted just like her to realize who I had seen. I know, and then I would have gone over it. Over it in my head over and over.
Yeah. And then I would have gone back online and been like, oh crap, I just acted like an idiot. Then you get all excited like she did. I get this girl. I'm like, I am this girl. I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. I really do.
I do. I agree.
Yeah.
To cope just fine. Oh my God, that's so scary.
I'm like, we're all a little bit of cuckoo, right?
Yeah, we are.
Oh my gosh. All right, so let me grab that live. Whoops. Okay, I just gotta put my mic and everything down for a minute because I gotta just use both my
Jeff
answers.
said, I wonder if Brian's parents act so weird and silent because they blame the media and public for Brian taking his life from the pressure outside of their home.
Oh God.
They're blamers. They're going to blame anybody but Brian. I wouldn't doubt it. Blame Gabby, blame the media, blame her family. They're going to blame anybody.
The weird thing for them is in my opinion, you know, they're blamers and they're also victims. So it's like when looking at them, I look at them in this kind of divided way. The parents, that's how I see it. I know that they've done some things that are unethical, shady, and all the rest. But at the same time, apparently they were close with Gabby, right? They lost their son, and I mean, there's, in my opinion, they're still victims. So it's a complicated way in which I view those parents.
Yeah.
For whatever that's
worth. I mean, it does suck. There's no easy way out of this.
Yeah.
But
let's see,
they just became so unlikable.
Yeah, they did. They did.
When you hear that, they blocked her mother's phone, what mother to mother does that? Gabby's mother's trying to call her mother and then she blocks her. That's disgusting.
At what point did she block her phone? I remember that happening.
So maybe around the 9th, 10th-ish, her phone was, she said, she blocked me then. And then that's why the next day her father went knocking on their door. Can you, how shocking would that be that he's there and she's not? But no answers. Brian still isn't going to talk to them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at that point, the only thing, that I'm thinking is that she, this to me just, points to her guilt, at least as far as what she knew, that she knew something terrible. She felt the need to protect her own child to the point where she was overwhelmed and couldn't even pretend to deal with. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always playing out these scenarios in my mind.
You try to figure out, to be empathetic. You try to put yourself in her place, but you keep going back to you'd still be saying, but we have to do the right thing at the end.
Right. Totally.
This is not. This isn't going to go away.
I hope I would do that.
You hope that that's where it would end up going. But this isn't going to just go away. They're going to find her. Well, unless he thought they weren't going to find her, that animals would get at her. Who knows?
Denial is a very real thing, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just feel, I don't know, any parent that has lost their child, no matter what they've done or who they are or the decisions they make, in my heart, I just feel so much, I just feel for them because I just can't, I just imagine that's got to be the worst thing ever in the world,
Yes.
What's worse,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Jeff, I agree. The Bethunes driving past there with their camera recording was like a divine intervention. It really was. It really was. And then when someone, for how far away they were from home and you're in the middle of this huge park, how many people, though, had videos of whether it was just the car in the parking lot or their car actually there at the site? It's more people than you'd expect. At least 5 different people had either they were able to say, we spoke with him, he was in our car, or we drove by, he was parked there, or, oh, wait, we remember that van. That was in such and such a lot. And, oh, wait, we were at that bar and he was there alone that night acting weird. That older man said that. Yeah. So it's a lot of, they were noticed more than you think you're noticed.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, there was a lot of people that had various sightings and then I wanted to address this. Molson Man was saying that this is that same girl we were just listening to. I don't know if I have the one you're referring to actually.
Okay, that's okay.
Rose. I thought
that's
I
right.
think that I accidentally erased it and labeled
that's
this.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh, I know. So then this video that I have, she just went on to show some of the treatment she was getting.
Oh Jesus, this
Yeah,
girl.
and it's bad. I mean, it is bad.
Jeez.
I'm like, she's just like, she's got a lot of energy,
Yes, she does. Oh, Mo said, I know. Remember when they were trying to say like that Roberta was like hiding Brian in their yard, and like somebody had a video of like a hand coming out of the dirt.
Oh
I
my
remember
God.
Wilson texted me that day. I'm like, I just saw what the heck. Like it was so ridiculous. But yeah, she's harboring them in their garden.
My gosh. It's crazy.
The hand in the
Crazy
garden. Yeah,
stuff.
OG, it was a hand in the garden.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, Rosie, I'm so sorry. That's
I know, Rosie, get yourself
Yeah.
together and just be, be calm and do whatever you have to do. That's all. You'll be there and you'll help in any way you can, but make sure you're calm walking into this.
Yeah.
You
That's
don't
good
want to.
advice. Yeah. Yeah, that's very good advice. Oh my goodness. Let's see.
Sean.
Never find her. Would take a long time. Gosh. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I feel as though, with Gabby Petito, I feel as though there was a very real chance that she may not have been ever found, right?
Right. Yes.
Because it was such a
huge, vast, dispersed campground. In
Yeah,
between
and
trees. It was
nature.
Nature is plentiful out there, and I think that's what he was probably hoping for.
Yeah.
The nature aspect of it, to clean up his litter.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
It's disgusting.
He is super disgusting.
I mean, he does mention how he made sure that he parked his body, which was soon to be a carcass, by the creek in hopes that animals will come by and tear him apart. Well, why is that the same reason you left Gabby's by a creek in Wyoming?
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that. Yeah, I know. Is what he
30
said
degree
that
weather.
Right? Ugh, disgusting freaking human being. I just wow. I forgot how disgusting he is, and this just. I mean, it's good that. Yeah, this is all, whatever needs to be done for justice to be served and for the families to be okay. That's like awesomeness. But, personally, this is on a very selfish level. I could have done without ever hearing about this man again.
I know.
He just chills you he's just, wow. He's bad through and through.
Yeah, that's how I agree, Jeff. Jeff is like, I don't, I even think what he said about animals on his own corpse is more altered truth. Like he was remembering why and how he left her. That's what I thought of it. When I saw that part, I was like, you sick mother. You left her in Wyoming by a creek, you pig.
Yeah.
Dead and bloody so that animals could smell her blood.
Yeah. It's just a disgusting human being.
It is. For her parents to have to live with that, knowing that, Jesus, it makes me makes me anxious and like want to crawl out of my skin.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how. That's what, I don't know. To any parent who's able to go on after something like that, my God, God, grace of God is with you. I just can't.
Her parents are, she wasn't even found yet, and her father was starting that foundation. I mean, they're good people. They're strong, good people.
Oh,
it's very rare you hear of like a biological mother and a biological father referring to the step parents as parents. They're not. When the father said they're not, this isn't her stepfather, stepmother. This is her other mother and father too. Like that's a tight family.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No one's called a stepdad or a stepmom. Like they're her parents.
That's awesome.
Great. Yes. Like the amount of support she would have had she, had maybe a little bit more life experience, that she would have said, I got to get out of this. She would have had so much great support. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is heartbreaking. The thing is. So, okay. So, with this whole situation with, let me get back to the stream here. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. There we are. So with, the notebook coming out, this information coming out, and Brian Laundrie, through his writing in the notebook, thanks for is this for reals or is this sarcastic? Thanks for going live, Kelly, reminding us all how horrible this was.
TTC.
This was upon request.
Uh-huh.
Oh wait, hold it. Wait. I will get back to what I was saying. Diana says Shanann had a weird post saying stuff like MLM didn't make you have a bad relationship, it just exposed your already bad one, or something along those lines. God rest her soul. She was brainwashed. Yeah, I know. Yeah. No. Oh my God, Rosie, do not be sorry for that. We are just here for you. Do not be sorry for that. No. Definitely not. No. Don't be sorry for that. Let's see. What was I? Wait, hold it. I need to get my thought here. Where was I going with this? Okay. So when this, all came out and I was listening to it, it just made me think. So I was doing research today on, I was trying to do research on true confessions or partially true confessions, or for people who do really commit egregious crimes, homicide. Who is it that actually confesses without being pushed to that point? Like, for example, like I'm not counting this person was already convicted, even though they fought, maintained that they were innocent, went to trial, they were found guilty, they were put away in prison, and years later they end up confessing because, maybe that's what prison does to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people who are just confessing what they had done, and there's at least altered truth in the confession. I love that, Jeff. That's so right on. How many people do that? Why do they do that? What are the statistics on this? And as I was saying, it was incredibly difficult to find any material except for the psychological angle. And I think that's because I knew kind of where to go to find some of that information. But everything that I was able to, or everything that is readily available, and this is hours of looking into it, is about false confessions. So what I wanted to do was really look at, okay, so here, we have Chris Watts, who initially gave, a partial and not even accurate confession, right? And then eventually, then he gave another confession, then he gave another confession. I don't even know what's up with, medium bunny, get back in your tray.
Yeah.
It's my bunny without a roof. Okay, sorry.
Bunny.
We just called her Trey. We throw some roof off. Oh my God. So, and then, so the fact that he even did offer any kind of confession and, pled guilty, even though many of us think that he has his own selfish motives for doing that, but he's in prison. The whole thing is so confusing. That is a really rare situation. And this, Brian Laundrie, committing suicide, but still leaving behind, this notebook, these letters, giving some kind of confession. And even though also with him, there's altered truth, and he was obviously trying to cover his own butt, and he was trying to, I guess make the legacy of his life and his relationship and how this all happened look a certain way. But still, there was something of a confession there when there didn't necessarily have to be. Is this all making sense?
Yes. No, it is.
And, I think that they're definitely two very different situations in that, I think that Brian Laundrie was just purely trying to, shine up, the image that people were left with of him, which is so crazy that after all this is going on, you're taking your own life. This is apparently your primary concern. Because I don't think that he was doing all that much for his family, really. I don't feel like he really had that in him. And then, with Chris Watts, I think it's he kind of got, re-techniqued into giving a partial
not accurate confession. And then, I think just because of the constitution of his personality, he just didn't fight it. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to roll over. I think there may have been some protection of the mistress, of maybe his family, not that they did anything criminal, but that they were all like in this really like high emotional, like tense, painful situation because the Watts family, and I'm talking about Shanann, Chris, they were in crisis, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And everyone got brought into it, right?
Right.
And no one did anything about it. Not that they didn't want to, not that they should have known exactly how to, but it's just really a clusterfuck of a situation that I hope people can look at and learn from, kind of the like negative example, like the opposite example, to do the opposite, right?
I agree.
So, gosh, where am I going with that? So then, okay, in addition to Brian Laundrie and Chris Watts giving confessions in these ways that I'm explaining, which are a little bit convoluted, but they're still there. We have Ted Bundy. He confessed, but he's a serial killer, and serial killers are, historically, from a psychological perspective, often proud of what they've done, and they want to brag about it, and they want for people to recognize them for their accomplishment as they see it. There's a few other serial killers on the list. And guys, it was really hard to find other just straight up like, family annihilators. I don't want to like categorize them like this is a normal type of person, but a murderer who's not a serial killer, who willingly, to any degree, offered any kind of confession whatsoever. So it really is a unique situation.
It is. There was a family annihilator from my area in 1984. He killed, including his girlfriend's wives. Like he had sisters that were his girlfriends and wives, and they both sisters like had kids. His kids, they were white. He was black. He killed, I want to say altogether, maybe 11 people. He went to 2 different homes. He traveled to 2 different homes to kill 2 different, groups of his own children and his girlfriend's wives, and said that he did it out of mercy because he didn't want his children to grow up being of mixed race and having to deal with that. I mean, he killed babies, even his own baby.
Wow.
And his name is George Banks. He is still alive here in Pennsylvania. Since 1984, he's still alive here in prison. He's an old man now. He's totally psychotic. He doesn't let anyone go near him. He has a crazy like rash, like he looks like a leper all over his body. He like, will not let them treat him in any way, shape, or form. But he's still alive. It's insane.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a heartbreak. It was a heartbreak because they were kids that went to school with my brother. I just remember we were scared at first because they didn't know where he was. He went to one house and then he went to the other. It was just frightening because you didn't hear family annihilators.
What's this person's name? Do you know?
George Banks. Oh yeah, George Banks. You'll find it. Wow. Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. And then Jody is cool. Just asked, Kelly, have you seen the documentary on Henry Lee Lewis? Started watching it. Been more reading about it because when I sit down to watch anything, it's my favorite YouTube creators.
Henry Lee Lewis. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that is actually one. Henry Lee is nasty. Is one of the murderers that did admit to his killings. Yeah, that was one of them that I found. Thank you for. Oh, you've seen the prison interview. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Oh yeah, you'll find that
definitely is one.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So what I found, just when comparing, here I have just a little 3-page PowerPoint for you guys. All my research, I couldn't find much. That's all it came to. Just one sec. Let me bring you to the stream. So, when I'm just thinking about this whole idea of these people who, kill someone that they love. There's not a lot of people who are murderers who are not categorized as serial killers who are going to ever give any kind of confession unless they're absolutely wholeheartedly forced into it. Let's see. Is that showing? Yes.
So these were just some similarities that I saw between Brian Laundrie and Chris Watts. And I wanted to know what you guys think, because
Okay.
from a psychological perspective, I think it's interesting. So for both Brian Laundrie and Chris Watts, there was from the way they tell it, right? There was an outside force that compelled each of them to commit the murder, right? So with Chris Watts, it was like, the being driven to do so. It was like, somebody had their arms and their hands on my hands. And, I just, I had no, it was something else was driving me to do it. I can't even remember his exact wording right now, because it's late and I'm tired and I get there if I don't have notes. And then
wait, this is the craziest night ever. Turquoise just said people are yelling and 2 shouts out my back window. What? Turquoise, what? People are yelling and 2 shots out my back window. Dear God, what's happening?
Well, are you safe? Get somewhere where you're safe. Get in a center room in your house, right?
Jesus,
you mean shots like
yes.
gunshots?
Oh my God, Turquoise, please tell us you're safe.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is the craziest night.
I know. This is very strange. You're right.
Oh my goodness.
Well, first of all, Turquoise, make sure you're safe. And then when you can get
please.
back to us and let us know you're safe, please do. There you go. Okay.
Okay, Turquoise, just so
Okay.
you're safe. All right.
Cameras, audio.
This world is crazy.
I know. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Diana says, I mean, seriously, thank you, Diana, for being the voice of reason here. Says, call 911. Do not look out. Turn off your lights, too. If that's not going to bring alert to you, then, but definitely call 911.
Yeah,
Get in the central
just
room.
stay down and that's...
You're
Jesus.
safe. Okay. Oh, my gosh. When I lived in Philadelphia, the last time we lived there, we lived in, I don't know if anyone's familiar, it's Fishtown. It's right next to Kensington. And Kensington is like the Badlands of Philadelphia, where like all the bad shit goes on. All right. So we were just a couple blocks from Kensington. So I don't know if you know how well you know Philadelphia.
I do. My brother lived there for a few years. So yeah.
So I was right on a certain street in Girard Avenue. So Girard Avenue is really going north, so yeah. So when it was on the corner. It was on the corner of Girard and another street. And I just don't want to say it because then there's potential for doxing if somebody's ambitious enough.
Right.
So, yeah. So I mean, one of the reasons I ended up moving from there was because my child was young and there were gunshots. There were gunshots. There were gunshots that were close. It was like scary stuff. Like it was like the neighborhood was gentrified. It was like people paid a ton of money to live there. There's all these like fancy wine and whiskey bars and whatever. And meanwhile, like you're getting shot at. It was just so
you hit the bed open air drug shops.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, I just saw the emails come through. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. So then the similarities that I just saw between Laundrie and Chris Watts. So there's an outside force for both of them, as they tell it, that compelled each of them to commit the murder. Another similarity is that they ultimately confessed and accepted their fate for, as they tell it, for the sake of other people, kind of in this martyr sort of way, right?
Yeah.
And then another similarity that really stood out to me was at the same time, there was, at the time for each of them, there was not another real alternative than to commit the murders, as they tell it. Like Brian Laundrie's like, I had to basically put her out of her misery. I'm sorry to say it like that, but that was what he was saying. And, for Chris Watts, it was like, this had just built up and it just got to the point where something was compelling him and somebody had his arms around him and his hands on his hands and he couldn't let go. It's like, there is essentially in all of these three similarities, what each of them, indicate is that they're still not willing to, to take any like individual responsibility whatsoever in what happened. And it's like, so then what is all of this for? It's like, I don't know.
I know.
Hard one. It's like, you don't even have a personality, man. You don't care. You'll just like whatever. I don't know. Yeah. It's all about nothing for these guys and these beautiful lives lost, I mean.
Yeah, there's just no respect for, I don't know.
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah. It's very, very, very true. So sorry, Chef would have Australian. Oh my gosh. John says, when I hear shots, I grab my pistol. And
No,
as Melissa Matt said, is one should, John. Absolutely.
I know.
Oh,
That's a good point,
okay.
Jeff. See what Jeff wrote about anyone
Yeah,
have thoughts
no,
why the last sentence of Brian's letter is in a different
that's,
pen color. They did talk about that. They were wondering why.
What? Okay, what was?
Yeah,
I
look at
was
it.
wondering that. Is there? I know, but does anyone know the answer? Is
Well,
there?
Brian Enton's like, geez, you're out in the middle of reserve where there's like wild hogs that could possibly be hunting you down, but you have like colored markers in your wet bag.
You've got your Sharpies.
Yeah, like you have different shades of blue. Are you different shades of blue, Brian? Really? Yeah, they did mention that, and he crossed out a couple lines too. And they're like, he wasn't worried about his pen running out. And Brian Enton's like, obviously not. He must have had a whole pack. It's something to think about, but it does look a little different. And and then I think it was Brian Enton's like, or JB said, you hope FBI analyzed the handwriting and it all
certainly,
flows. But those are answers we don't have. But
right,
you would think they would have.
Yeah, I hope so. DTC Primetime, just being awesome like she is, brought up another similarity between Chris Watts and Brian Laundrie relative to these confessions, and saying that plus they acted super cool and calm on body cam.
Oh yeah,
yes they did. Cool as a cucumber. That's
very
right.
Cool. Very cool.
I mean, DTT's Primetime is always just putting the icing on the cake. I love
super
it.
Super cool. It's true though. They both had that way about them, didn't they? Like, we're too cool for this.
I love it.
Jeff. Jeff said, I wonder if they wrote the letter during the Laundrie family camp out. Stranger things, who knows? But then maybe Brian wrote that last line before shooting himself. Anything's possible, Jeff.
Wow.
Yeah, anything's freaking possible.
You are really you're sharp with this stuff, Jeff. Thank you for being in chat. That's because
it is separate. It's separate from the letter. I don't know if he skips a few lines. It just stands out to me a little different. I don't know if it's just because it's the ink color. I'm not really sure if I thought the handwriting at this. I can't remember if I even thought the handwriting looked different or not. I just laughed when I thought Brian Enton saying, "Was you have like shades of blue? Who does that when they're going out to kill themselves?"
So listen, John McSmith, I let you, with these things with Nicole Kessinger because it's Nicole Kessinger, but I am going to ask you that Gabby Petito is a very sweet, innocent, total victim who is no longer here with us. I would like to show her respect. Okay. So if we could do that, that would be great.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So DTC Primetime says, I got Watts vibes from him for sure. What's going on in those sand dunes? What's going on?
I know. Sand dunes make those guys crazy.
Right. I know. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Elizabeth, we have all these similarities now. I love this. Okay, cool. I'm glad that you guys are actually thinking about this. I was I'm probably just going to be and here's my research paper form that I need to turn in, Professor. Because I just used ending doing research with something like that. Here.
Oh my god.
Here's proof that I did it.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I was I didn't find what I was looking for, but I tried.
I swear. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good.
You go try to Google true confessions. All you get is this false confession Netflix crap.
Oh my god, that's it.
That's so funny. So Elizabeth says that's really great. And they use their arms in the same way when they talk. You know what? When this case was, being covered heavily, and I was, so this channel was 4 months old. I was, really staying on top of things, creating, which I'm still doing. But whenever I would see this come on YouTube, I was oh look, there's a different Chris Watts and somewhere different. I'm oh no, that's that Brian Laundrie again.
Yeah,
they do. Physically, they have a similar presence and also just appearance. It's strange.
They have those. Yeah, they put out those weird vibes. They're awkward.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Rachel Townsend.
Hi,
How you
Rachel.
doing? Welcome, darling. Yes, and Barbara Warren. This is what I've been trying to avoid this evening for whatever reason. I don't even know
I
why.
hate the word.
I'm using narcissistic.
I stay away
people
from the word.
just because here's the thing. I think in true crime, we're talking about this kind of personality that is going to do things and take risks and have absence of, I guess, like morals that most people within the bell part of the parabolic bell curve DTC prime time. I love it so much. We were talking about that last night.
That's true.
Just don't possess. So I do think, true crime, there is more narcissists per capita than in the general population. So I think when we're talking about true crime, and especially since, a lot of people come at it from a psychological perspective, I give myself a pass because that is a perspective I've always come from. But,
Right. I
it feels
agree.
like it can be overused. But at the same time, I also think there are just more narcissistic traits in people that we are observing,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, and the DTC primetime, you're on fire. And the social media aspect of the lovely women. Yeah, that's definitely true. And I think that is
that's a big
why,
one.
so many people, really got pulled into these cases.
Right.
It's just, yeah. I mean, we just feel a connection to Gabby, to Shanann, to their lives. And we wanted them to do well. Like whatever it is, you think
were
about.
watching Gabby, her, and just saying like, oh, that, we've all been that young, and you go in with the best intentions, and you want to be in love, and you want to be that couple, and it to all go right. It's hard sometimes to fess up that this isn't working. This is
right.
what we planned. This isn't going. It's not going to happen. Like, and what her thinking, she was the failure. I'm sure at 22. Yeah, she's 22. He's 23. Neither one of them are really fully formed adults yet.
Right. That's right.
Unfortunately, I don't think he did enough self blame. He didn't check himself enough.
Yeah.
Just put too much of the blame on her.
Yeah, he didn't care to have. Yeah, and he didn't. He didn't work on himself to develop that self-awareness.
None. Right.
Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, T-Marie and I work in psych too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we're coming at it, the three of us, from that angle. So you can't help it. If that's, you just can't help it.
Yeah, no, I very much agree with that. So I'm gonna do a little change in topics here. So I just wanted to let you know, I keep forgetting to follow up on this, but remember, once upon a time, we were all gathered here in a What's the Obsession live stream, and somebody had the idea. Was it to put oh, whoops. No, I don't want to go into the other StreamYard. That would be weird. Stop. Don't do that. Okay. All right. I'm like, I don't know what would happen. That would be so, I don't know. Uncharted.
Uncharted water.
I don't know what I would do. It's too tricky. Oh my gosh. A Curious Rose yesterday. I was on, so there's a members live stream scheduled for tomorrow night at 8. So I was in that members only live stream scheduled for Sunday for like 20 minutes. And then somebody brought up that half the people were in the right one. Half the people, oh my gosh, it was just
God.
It's like, this is what happens when you're not there. I just fall apart.
Be right there, guys.
I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I think this is the poll here. Let's see. So, I'm sorry. So somebody suggested to put a poll up asking.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah. So this really got a lot of responses.
The ping, right? I think I asked you to do that, right? Was it about the ping?
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited.
There. Yeah. So, all right, let me go get over to this so I can show you So guess how many people responded?
Oh, wow. 120?
More.
500?
I think it was my most responded to poll ever. 1,500.
Oh my, that's
crazy for a poll.
Okay.
Nobody.
No,
I
but was
never
it a
have
slam
gone through
dunk?
that. Oh yeah, here I'm going to share.
Oh wow. Oh, Tia, the question was, did we think like the ping from the Watts case with Nicole's car, was it like relevant? I forget how we worded it, right?
Yes,
Was it important, Kel?
Here. Dot. Don't give away the drum roll. Here we go.
Molson with that fade. I like that emoji, Molson.
So I've been meaning to put this out there.
Oh,
like,
good. That's a lot of people though responding to a poll. That's great.
It is.
Yes.
Yes, that's
God,
a lot.
That's
Okay.
definitely a lot.
So it says, this is what I said. Chris Watts' mistress, Nicole Kessinger, claims she knew nothing about the murders of Shanann, Bella, and Cece Watts. However, we know from phone records that Miss Kessinger's phone pinged in Frederick, Colorado, very close to the Watts home at 6:16 a.m., shortly after Watts pulled out of his driveway and headed to Survey 319, where his family's bodies were later recovered. Do you think the 6:16 a.m. ping from Kessinger's phone is important? Please comment to let us know why or why not. 1,500 respondents.
Wow.
92% yes, the ping is important.
Oh wow.
8% no, the ping is not important. And that was John voting like however many times. It's 8% of 1,500.
John, what did John say?
120 times. That's where you got the 120 from. Quick math. So yeah, and so then I mean the comment, then there's comments. I don't even think I've even read all these comments, but if we wanted to go deeper into it, 122 people commented to tell us exactly what it was they thought.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
How? Wow.
And there's so many, and she's just even going through this the other day. I'm like, there's so many things even to follow up with here. It never ends.
No NK sympathizers in the.
I haven't seen any. Well, I'm sure there are. See, well, this isn't true. So somebody says the ping is super important. There was only one cell tower in Frederick in 2018. Easy to Google, but that's not. It's not true.
No.
So see, there is also a lot of,
maybe misled as to why they feel it's important, but it was important.
Right. Yeah.
If that's what maybe they just don't have the full.
Concept. Let's see. Oh wow. Oh wow. Line of sight. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Let me see what this person says because they're talking site acquisition talk a little bit here.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know which way she's gonna go. Okay. So it says, after reading this, I can tell you this. When my partner served in Her Majesty's Armed Force, he was a radio relay operator, line of sight or GPS, where his job trade. From his own line of sight is, we want to set antennas up that are going to be communicating with each other with what we call line of sight. So like when you build cell towers, ideally the antennas are going to be anywhere from 70 feet above ground to 160 feet. The sweet spot really is like 130 feet. That's what line of sight is. So from his own experience, when a signal is relayed, it bounces off a mast or radio receiver, then gets bounced upwards to a satellite in space where the signal pings and sends a laser reference to the device it has locked onto. Well, this is GPS, she's explaining. This is not cellular transmission, though, but this is true. So when she claims not to have been there, I argue that is very high probability that she was. I agree with that. Or Chris had her phone, but again, I argue for what reason would he need her phone? Unless to try to get rid of evidence. Most people hold onto their phones like glue. So from my point of view and opinion, she must have been there and knows more than she has ever told anyone. I also feel that Chris is protecting her and is covering up his evil tracks. Touche, Charlene Palmer. Touche. Yeah. So, okay. So that's that. So this was going to be a 60-minute live stream. So we've gone on for a little bit longer than that, but I think it was a great idea for those of you that wanted to, talk about this and, go over what was going on in that notebook that the FBI just released. And I mean, it's just like, I haven't really absorbed.
It's a lot. And I think this is one that if it's something we want to discuss, like we have to stay on top of it because I feel like it's moving fast and like, tomorrow, who knows what tomorrow will bring, like what's going to surface tomorrow. I just feel it's something that we, need to just kind of stay on top of in order to kind of talk about it and know what we're talking about. So I'm all for it. I've been invested in this since it happened. So for sure I'm here.
Yeah, totally. Thank you. Awesome. That's wonderful.
Absolutely.
And Molson Man says I-52 runs straight through Frederick. So you're totally right about that. Now, John, you asked DTC Primetime. You offered to explain something, and John, you're welcome to. We don't have to end this right now. By all means. And then Diana, always making good points, says, can we please hear someone explain why the ping is not important? Is there anything that the 92% is missing? How would he speak to her for 111 minutes and get on her phone? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know.
Diana, you're always bringing out the good ones. Yeah, great point. I posed that question to the 8% of you.
Yeah. Did DTC want to come up?
Do you want to come up? Yeah. Do you want to, sweetie?
Come up, DC.
Here, I'll put the link just in case you do. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, come up, definitely, DTC. John, if you want to come up, she said come up too. You want to talk
yeah,
about
please do. Absolutely, please do. And DTC, sweetie, we got to figure out sometime we can do the sheets. It doesn't have to be whenever you want to. People have been asking for it. DTC Primetime was so wonderful to put together.
Oh, the sheets. Right.
Yeah.
I remember you were saying that.
Yeah. Yeah. So whatever the highway's called, it's all good, boys. Such a boy thing to argue
it
about.
It is.
The highway. No,
Molson was there, so he knows.
Oh my gosh, Jeff goes, I gotta fold laundry. I hate hard to even say the word laundry. I know. This is really great live stream. See you again soon. Jeff, thank you so much for being here. You had really awesome insight. I really appreciate it. It's nice to meet you. Come back soon, please. And I'm not even gonna say it, but enjoy your chores, okay? Oh, so check it out. Hey man, DTC Primetime and dun dun dun. John, oh my gosh, all in one shot. This is amazing. Hi guys, how are ya?
Got an all-star panel tonight, Kelly.
That's right. I know. I'm like, what did I do to deserve this?
Hello. That's too cute. I'm gonna mute it, and I want so that you guys could talk. I'm gonna mute it, but I'm very excited to hear you guys talk. Awesome, you guys came up.
Awesome, cool.
Hi.
How you doing, girl?
John, I think we've had this date for a while. Glad to see you up on panel, though. I do apologize. I woke up a couple days ago and my throat was a little scratchy, so I'm sorry if it's coming off as like robotic or weird to your chat.
Not at all. No. I think a lot of people have been feeling that way. You're beautiful as always. Your voice is beautiful as always. Yes. And what you have to offer is priceless. It's the frosting on my cupcake.
I love cupcakes. So, John, I believe your question was, if you could just remind me, because I can't see the chat anymore. I do apologize, but I kind of had this worked out in my head, and I don't have anything prepared. But if you wouldn't mind just repeating your question, I'd appreciate that.
Who, me?
Yes, John.
You said you saw the ping testimony by the guy in the Heather Ellis case.
I did. I watched that. It was really good. It was very interesting.
And that didn't. He didn't explain that to you, where you understand how pings work, or did you get what he was saying?
Oh, I got what he was saying, but I don't understand what point you were trying to make about it with regards to the Watts case.
Okay. Well, my point is that the only quote unquote ping evidence that there is from the phone bill where she dialed a number and it pinged off of Frederick Tower.
Right. And I believe that was just north of their house.
Yeah,
is that correct, Kelly?
That's right. I can bring out the map if you want.
That's not ping evidence, though. That's phone evidence. That's phone call evidence. That's not ping evidence. The ping evidence would show the towers that her phone pinged off of before she made that phone call and after she made that phone call. In fact, the ping evidence would show every tower that her phone pinged off of from the time she got into her car until she got to work or wherever she went.
Prime time. We talked about this, girl. So only the phone company is privy to that.
Right.
And actually, what you're talking about, the tower before and the tower after, is it's something contextual. If something is moving, and she probably was, or maybe she wasn't, but the ping evidence where the call is initiated on its own is really, I mean, this is my opinion. I'm going to say arguably most people would say the strongest ping evidence there is going to be, because you don't have to contextualize it. It's very straightforward.
No, that's not ping evidence. That is an evidence of that she made a phone call, and that particular phone call pinged off that tower. The ping evidence.
Where'd she make it from? South Carolina?
Your phone is pinging all the time, whether you're using it or not. If it's on, it's pinging off the nearest tower. And so all they have to do.
Well, not necessarily.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is pinging all the time. It sure is. That's
not off the nearest tower is what I mean. I mean, it really depends on a lot of different factors from what I recall from that testimony in the Heather Elvis case. But there's 2 points that I'd like to make about that. We don't have her phone data per se. Law enforcement doesn't have it, because guess what? That was kind of going to be another point I was going to make. But yes, that kind of proves that she was in the area at 6:16 in the morning, right? But we have to look at it within the totality of the evidence. That is going to be like the most significant, I think, because it's there in black and white. It's, her phone pinged off that tower at 6:16 a.m. period.
It also pinged off a dozen other towers.
Well,
what about that? Is the ping evidence?
How do you know?
Well, at 6:16, it pinged off of that.
How do I know? I'll tell you how I know that. Because if you watch the Heather Elvis trial, that's why Tammy Moore is in. That's why she's in prison for 30 years. Because her phone pinged off the towers right behind Heather Elvis. Heather Elvis pinged off a tower. Tammy Moore pinged off a tower. They weren't making phone calls. Their phone was pinging off those towers.
Right.
Oh,
but
well,
here's the thing.
John, I love you. I watched the Heather Elvis expert, and the Tammy Moore, and that coincides with the Heather Elvis ping is a much different. That is a much different situation than Nicole Kessinger singularly pinging at a particular location.
It's not different at all.
It is different because they have the phone data. They got a warrant for the phone data.
They also have
and they didn't get one for Nicole's. And I kind of wanted to bring that up a little bit too, because I think you had a follow-up question in our.
You guys don't get it. I'm sorry, you just don't get it. You don't understand how law enforcement works, and you just don't get it. Oh, okay. That's what it is. The FBI got on the phone, okay, and they didn't call Verizon, and they didn't call Apple, and they didn't call anybody else.
Right. Let me explain what happened.
They called this Michael Melson dude up. They called his company up, and they said, give me the ping info on this number, which was Nicole's number. And they got that info, and they looked at it, and they knew right away Nicole didn't have anything to do with this. That's what happened. Because the ping evidence shows that she was nowhere near Survey and nowhere near Saratoga Trail, the actual ping evidence.
And where are you reading this?
Like that phone call is
that's fiction to me. Where cite this information.
How is that fiction? That's not fiction. That's standard operating procedure by the FBI. Okay, that's not.
Well, that's not what happened here.
Don't call fiction on that.
I am calling fiction on it because it's not documented anywhere. But the problem is that when they went in, she came in of her own volition. She called the tip lines. She made an appointment to speak with the FBI as a protected witness. And she agreed and signed over her phone data. But guess what? When the time came for her to turn over that phone data, it was gone. She had deleted everything, and then her freaking SIM card ended up being mysteriously broken. That's why they didn't have enough evidence to charge her with a crime. Because if they had that phone data, despite like your theory about what's going on in this case, that the FBI called up Michael Melson and got the phone data, that didn't happen. They never got it. And if they did, it would have been a very different story for her, in my opinion.
If you watch Michael Melson, then you saw that you can't just delete data and get rid of it. Duh. They got ways to recover all that data, and that's what they did. That's what they did against Tammy Moore.
That's right. And the source that I have talked to, spoke to somebody in law enforcement who's very close to this case, said that all of, if not the vast majority of communications between Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts were in fact recovered. Now, I watched the Heather Elvis expert that you referred to a couple times, like the first time about 72 hours after you referred me to it, the second I had a chance to. I thought it was very interesting. I thought he was very compelling. I thought he was very knowledgeable. But the situation with Tammy Moore and Nicole Kessinger, I'm sorry, John, they're two different situations. And right now it's after midnight. This is my second live stream in a row on Friday and Saturday night. I'm very tired. I don't have I can't debate that right now. But we can talk about it respectfully, but I don't want to put anything out there from either direction that's going to be leaving any viewer with a wrong impression, because that's what this channel seeks to not do. So
I'm not giving anybody the wrong impression.
I'm not saying that
What are
you are. I'm just
talking
saying, I didn't say that you are. I'm saying.
Yeah, you did.
John.
No, I did not. I said I don't want to from either side of the situation.
Yeah, you want to stick with the story that phone ping
John,
is evidence. That's what you want to do, Kelly. You're not fooling me,
that's
man.
No, come on, John. You're not like that. Don't do that.
Well,
come on, John.
I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do.
Who?
You're trying to deflect everybody away from the true ping evidence and put them back on that phone bill.
No, I'm not. Go ahead, John. You go ahead. You put it out there. Okay. You put it out there. We'll take notes and we will.
Doesn't my opinion matter? Everybody else's opinion matter. Doesn't my opinion matter?
Absolutely.
Certainly my opinion is misinformation.
John, your opinion matters. You're up here on the panel on my channel. Okay. How can you even say that? I feel like you're being a little disrespectful right now. So please calm down. Say whatever you'd like to say. I invite it and I respect your opinion as I always have.
You just shut it down, though.
Well, I respect your opinion too, but when you stated
shut it down and said it was unacceptable on your channel, though.
I have a problem with it. When you say that the FBI called up Michael Melson and got Nicole's information, that didn't happen. There's no evidence of that. And that may be
there is evidence of it. It's called standard operating procedure by the FBI. Why do you think the FBI was called in?
You call Michael Melson every time you have to.
They didn't call Michael Melson. They called Oracle or whoever he works for, that company that does that. That's who they called.
And where is that in the discovery?
That's why they see Frederick and Weld County. They can't do that. That's why they have to call in the FBI. Then the FBI can do stuff like that. Go look it up. Prove me wrong.
No, the CBI sent her phone to be extracted at the lab in Colorado, and they didn't have the technology.
They don't need her phone.
Extraction of the data. They could only do a logical extraction, and guess what? It turned up nothing. And that's what I read in the discovery, and I can find the page for you. But when you're saying that this is standard operating procedure, that's fine. You can believe that, but that's your opinion. You can't state that.
No, it's not an opinion. It's a fact that that's what the FBI does. It's not opinion. That's a fact.
The fact that that's what they did in this case.
Well, you have to assume that they did.
Well, I don't.
Because it's standard operating procedure, and because it's not in the Watts file, I guess you're going to assume that it didn't happen.
Well, I know it's in the file, and that's not what it said.
It's not going to be in the Watts file.
It's
That's the whole point.
Operating procedure to interview witnesses who are over the age of 18 on their own without another adult speaking for them, but that didn't happen in this case either, and that's stepping way outside of standing operating procedure. And please don't get started.
Oh, it is not, and you know it isn't. She was not. That was not. That she wasn't under Miranda warning or anything. She came in on her own.
Listen to how Dave Baumhover speaks with young Nick Atkinson when his mother is present. He reads through, whatever, protocol or procedures he is supposed to a witness to ensure that they adhere to standard operating procedure. Yes.
Right. That's what cops do. Standard operating procedure for the FBI. What the first thing they did was call and
they
get that ping info.
They didn't adhere to it in the Nicole Kessinger interview when her dad was speaking for her. And I think he's a great guy. And I think he was doing what he should have done for his daughter. Absolutely. I'm not saying anything bad about that. But there were a lot of liberties that were allowed. And that's just
because she was willing.
All they had to do was get a warrant in, and then Daddy K couldn't have been there. All they had to do was get a warrant and put her under arrest. And that's all they had to do. And all they had to do was get a warrant for her phone.
It's not a matter of an interrogation. It's the interview of a witness.
What is the probable cause for the warrant, John? I'm sorry.
Well, you tell me.
I'm gonna go ahead and get down. They didn't have probable cause to get a warrant. She gave them the information freely and openly, but when it came time to get the information, it was all deleted. And then when it came time to get her phone data, her SIM card was broken. And that's all I have to say about it. I'm sorry. I'm getting upset. I'm very passionate about it.
Well, I'm not trying to upset anybody. Look, but man,
I just don't like when people state something as fact when it's not in fact the fact. If you can cite the news article or the police document that says that, or the discovery page, that's fine. Like I'm willing to hear you out. But you can't say that that's standard operating procedure, and that's exactly what happened in this case because we have to assume that.
It is standard operating procedure. Ask any detective, FBI guy. They don't jack around.
We're going to table this. I will get a statement or an appearance from somebody who's qualified. I promise you, within the next week. And
that would be good.
Yeah. So let's just table this. It's too late. I'm too tired.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I do apologize. You guys.
Hey, I didn't bring the ping up. No. I would never bring the ping up. Somebody else brought the ping up. I didn't bring it up.
It's all right. Whatever. There's no fault. It's all good. So okay, yeah. So it's all good. So all right. Are you still there, Curious Rose?
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll jump down. Hey, I'll jump down. I'm sorry if I upset anybody. I was just
You're passionate, John.
I thought my opinion was like everybody else's, but it's not.
It is. You're insulting me right now to say that because
don't say that, John.
So,
people can say Chris Watts didn't do it, and that's okay. But if I say the FBI checked out her ping info, that's not okay.
That's not true.
It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
John.
Yes.
Don't be.
So no, I'm too tired. I've worked too hard.
I know.
This week.
Yeah, you don't want to put that out there on your channel now. It's not the way you want to end this. So I get you. I feel the same. I'm like that with my cat.
DTC prime time. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry you got frustrated, DTC. Love you, and I'm sorry you got frustrated. So, well, you know what? Well, I'm taking another second because I was looking at what DTC Primetime was referencing. Sorry. Okay. It's working copy.
Are the bunnies sleeping?
The bunnies never sleep.
They sleep with the
That's a funny one, Rose.
Silly, Ro.
They are bunnies are a certain species. You know how we will be nocturnal, or I can't even call it, but it starts with a C. My brain starts to get fuzzy to sleep.
So they have no like circadian rhythm to them.
Well, so what their deal is, it's amazing. They are the most active at dawn and dusk. So they start getting really like stoked at like 4 a.m.
They're party animals.
All 30 of them.
Oh my god. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot to handle at 4 a.m.
It's a rabbitry. Yeah, I know. I didn't. Yeah. That's a whole other topic. Maybe I'll grab one. But wait,
they're so cute.
Okay. So,
Rosie said, please send out good energy for my friend. Absolutely.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's just strange.
It's a crazy night. People dealing with crazy stuff in chat. My heart goes out to everyone. Nothing but good energy.
Absolutely.
Look what John writes. Are we bad people? I can't with him. Yes, John. You're bold. Nothing but good energy for you and your friend Rosie. Oh.
Yeah, definitely.
Goodness.
Yeah, for sure.
Scary stuff.
Oh, wait, did I share this with you guys? So I'm just let me just see what's going on here. 74. What is that? Sarah, you're so funny.
Oh, that's what he said. Remember? Cheap dates. What do you say? Like, I'll be there, ice cream, cake.
Oh, that's right. Lollipop.
It says lollipop. Oh, man.
So gross.
It is.
Yeah. No, I get you, DTC prime time. It's good, sweetie. No one asked for a lawyer. Hi, Bebop. How are you? You're so funny. Okay, so I don't. Oh, yeah, this is always a really good question. Diana says, I don't know why Kristen immediately get a lawyer if he did. No, he didn't. And furthermore, I can't believe that his father didn't demand he get a lawyer. That always has blown my mind.
That's what she said. I don't know why Chris's dad didn't get him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think we all wondered why, but he just wasn't quick on his feet.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where Chris gets his naive ways from. I don't know. Ronnie?
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's just really crazy. Adults under a conservator can't be questioned without a conservator present. My opinion, you're so funny, Sarah. She just takes it to a new level whenever.
Jody said that's all slang for different drugs. I don't know, Jody. It just sounded, even if it wasn't, like what grown man even says lollipops.
Yeah.
So weird, so corny.
Yeah. So, and Diana, I would love to, and we can definitely talk about the issue that, we were trying to discuss at some other time, but I don't want to irritate DTC Primetime. She's like a researcher. She uses like solid methodology, and I knew that she was, she wasn't going to be having it. And it's for myself, John has been part of the channel. I think I actually treat him like
yeah, we have to treat each other
part of the channel.
Yes, I agree.
But I just we'll talk about another time, darling. I love
it's too late. I agree with you.
And I always invite differing opinions, always. And I change my opinion when people, present factual evidence. I've done it many times. It's all good.
Kelly, I forgot to ask if you checked your email from the other night. Remember I asked you if you got an email from someone that was going to send you something?
Oh, no.
Nothing. Okay.
But yeah, we have more to discuss.
Okay. All right.
Tomorrow.
Okay, definitely. I don't want to forget this. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Okay, cool.
No, yeah. So, and then Kevin Kovac this evening sent me, or Kevin Kovac. Our Kevin.
Just upgraded him to an FBI agent. Kevin Cash.
I think we'd be downgrading him if we downgrade him. We
don't want to send him to that.
But he has information on the oil, on like the oil tank.
Yes, that's right.
So.
Oh, that's great. Good. He said he was going to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Thanks, Kevin, for doing that.
And I think I'm going to be ending this soon.
Yes, absolutely. Go and
I was going to show you guys, but I just can't remember what it was.
That's all right. Tomorrow. There's another day.
Yeah.
Who knows when we get off this, if there's going to be more that was leaked on the Brian Laundie. Like, I just feel like that is moving fast. That is going to be unfolding very quickly.
Yeah, I know. It's just, that's such a sad case to me.
It's the worst. The worst.
Sad case to me and everyone else. So I'm going to, let's see. Let me just find something a little joyful to play on the out. Just a weird day. And I'm like.
It was a weird day. And very hot here. Is it real hot there? It's so hot here. The mugginess is despicable.
Yeah, I actually, for some reason, I normally do not like that, but I've had like a little headachy, like my back is, I don't know, I'm just working too hard. I feel a little physically out of sorts. So that heat, I was like, I'm just going to soak it up and then welcome it.
Come in and I'm welcoming it.
I did it. I made the mental shift and I appreciated it. I was like, heat on my back. That's
my God, I love it. It's hard though, especially when you travel. When you travel and work, it takes its toll.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
takes its toll, and he doesn't help.
Yeah, life is a little too chaotic right now.
I agree.
I'm talking about my life.
I agree, though. No, there's a lot going on in the world that's scary right now too. The scary.
Right. But sometimes you have to just kind of endure a little bit of like more than you want to be handling, so you can get to like the next place,
right?
That you want to be at.
Yeah, Rosie, I said I think his father was in shock. I'm sure he was.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Sure
I think he was too. I mean, I know that there's a lot said about, the way he reacted was like strange, or I personally,
I don't know. I think it was probably right on target for a son that never got in trouble, right?
That's right. Like I just see him as being, like you just said,
yeah.
Shock. I mean, I think that's consistent with a possible consistent expression of in shock.
Yes.
State of being.
Yeah, I agree. I do. I mean, we go through our children's lives being their biggest fans. You want to be that person. And so
my God, he's just learning that he lost both his two grandchildren.
Yeah, I hate that. I hate the body cam of them driving Ronnie to hotels to find a place to stay. It's a heartbreaker. Like the first one's booked, then they take him to him like he's just some schmuck. It's awful.
I know. I hate that too.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what. So when Ronnie Watts, came and he just learned, you guys probably all know, but he just learned that his grandchildren had been murdered. And then, what does he do? His son has just been arrested, and then, they're driving him around. He doesn't have anywhere to go. And it's just like,
it's
you
the
just
worst.
Him. It's truly like the saddest thing.
Like walking to Chris's car, getting his bag out of the car. We saw too much. Like that was just seeing too much. Like that you can't make it go away, and it hurts.
Right.
It's hard. It's sad. It's a hard one to look at. Oh, it's out there, Bebop. The tape is out there. It's just like Ronnie Watts being body cam Ronnie Watts to hotel. You'll see cops drive Ronnie Watts to hotel. It's sad.
That's right. Yep. Okay, well, I was trying to find like a happy little outro to play, but I am just too brain fried right now. So
yeah, no. Are those flowers behind you, Kel?
What's that?
Are those real roses in that vase behind you?
One of them is real, the other one is not.
They look pretty.
I have this like freaking like rug cleaner sitting there too. Classy.
They look beautiful. Bebop.
See, I'm like Shanann in some ways. I like colorful flowers too.
What color are they? Red or they look coral? Are they
orange and kind of purple? Yeah,
they're pretty.
Yeah. It's his spring. We've got a big yard, lots of flowers. Aww. So we're just making our allergies go extra crazy in here with all the hay.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so what's going on here?
Oh, nothing. They're okay. They're all,
yeah,
getting through it.
So it's all good, guys.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, no.
Bebop. Look at Bebop. I want to see that tape. I'm as nosy as Nate. No, here. Okay, I'll look.
Here. I'm going to find her. I'm going to find it. That's how I'll end.
It's a quick one. It is quick. It's pretty quick. But it's long enough to make you feel bad.
I know.
Right?
Oh my God. Yeah, seriously, it is. But I just want to say to these, no one knows, as far as I'm concerned, no one knows an apology, especially on behalf of the channel. We're all family here.
Yeah, we are.
It's just like, it's
all good. We get over it.
You don't owe an apology, DTC. Definitely not. You're
John good. Dance for me. I love you.
Okay. Oh wait, hold it. I have to go to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sing a song while I'm looking this up.
Somebody Bebop told John to dance. So that's
my Wiener song. I've done it. Where's Joan?
Yeah, I know, Pam. At the end of the day, we're learning more and more of Gabby's last moments. It's sad, but I'd want to know. No, it's my child. I know it's a painful truth that I'm sure her parents wish they didn't have to know, but probably keeps them awake at night. That unknown.
That's true.
So
So, okay, here, gotta be close. Where's the interview? Interview after Chris confessed. Chris was father Ronnie after Chris confessed. Ronnie was to interview. I thought this was gonna be easier to find. It's okay. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it.
I'm just making sure we didn't miss any good questions.
I have to find it. Sugar, what? I don't even know whose channel this is. I better be careful. It's determined now. Bring it. Give me the all body cam. I'll find it. Give me
it all.
I know.
Take it all on right now. Give it all.
I'm up for the challenge.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. All right. I don't freaking know. I can't find it. I give up. I think
No?
I'm not giving up. Help me out.
Oh, wait, I could look too because I could drop the link then. Hang on. Okay.
Yes, please. I don't know. I'm just like, sorry for all those who are new to this channel. This is probably a bad look.
I don't think it's already was a weird night.
I know it was a weird night. Chris Watts going to jail.
Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm gonna send it to you, okay?
Thank you so
I'm
much.
gonna just put it in the chat.
Okay.
And you could just pick it right up.
It'll take me a second. I have to go over to YouTube. Here we go. Talking about allergies.
Who's sneezing? Your son?
Oh, wait. Are you doing your... I forgot, Rose. You're doing... I forgot.
No, I didn't have anything timed. I don't have anything timed. I could do whenever.
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm really...
Oh, my...
There you go, Cal.
Okay. I'm sorry. I just totally...
Just curious. I do sleep, Kevin. Different odd time. Yeah. Yeah, there is Ed tonight. I have to do a notice for it, but I want to see this. It's been a while, and
I'm so sorry. Please just...
What? I didn't do it. I didn't do a time. I didn't do it yet. I just have to put a note. I'll put it whenever we're done. It'll be a half hour from when we end this. That's
you can
all.
always just be like, oh, like, you know, this is what, you know, it's all good.
I'll blame John. John's good at trivia. Everybody's, you know what? We have really smart people here. Last weekend's was really good. They really were.
Man yet?
What's that?
Has anyone beat Molson Man yet?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And last week he fell asleep last week, so he wasn't even present. We missed him.
That's great. Okay, here. Now I got to get the chat over here. I have to go into YouTube to get it.
Okay.
Then we're going to watch this, and then we're going to say peace out, y'all.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll be back together.
And with the kumbaya, and we love each other. And
it was a weird live stream. Anyone watching this on replay, it was weird. The whole thing.
It just fit with the week. It was a weird week.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Woo! Okay.
All right.
You're the best. All right. Let me bring you into the feed. Oh my God. Surprised I can't function. All right. So there we go. Nice. All right, Bebop, this is for you. And everyone else. All right. Wait a minute. We're at 175%. Oh, there we go. Okay. There it is.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, no problem.
So much sadness tonight.
I know.
Yeah.
This might be the final place, maybe. I felt like when they started the drive, it was light out.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that might have been the second hotel. There was a hotel or two prior. That might have just been like the final. They simplified it.
Before. That's cool. Kevin's never. I'm surprised when we can bring something people haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, DTC isn't either. Wow.
Oh, good.
Seen first exclusively on Watts.
That's fantastic then.
Courtesy of Bebop and Curious.
That video is courtesy of Crime Stop News.
Right.
Yeah, you can leave your bag.
Poor Ronnie. Oh my God. And he's wearing his like grandpa shirt.
Yes, it's Paparoni. The Paparoni shirt, is it? It's sad. It's very sad.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm,
it is.
That's so bad.
Mm. Oh, hi. You've never seen this? Welcome. And a lot of people have never seen this. Wow. That was a long, quiet ride. That's right.
Oh, yeah. He didn't even know he was going. Oh.
No, they didn't expect this, right, Bebop? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go that way?
That one was sold out too. Jesus.
Okay, so you're just going to go there? Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I know. It's so depressing. Jesus.
Yep. Thank you.
Oh, he shakes their hand too. Like it's awful.
Somebody provide him a buddy for the night.
I know. He was told that's a crisis mode. Somebody should have been with
It is. I'm serious. Like in all seriousness.
The Thayers did want him to stay over. They had told Chris that too. Like your dad could stay over, but it all happened so fast.
It happened so fast. I mean, Tammy Lee and Coder even say, that they, we're just here having this conversation, and then all of a sudden they come in and they didn't even know what was going to be happening. Like,
right.
And I've always wondered, how did they not have that communication? I mean, I understand it was Frederick Police and CBI and FBI, but I mean, they're working on this one massive major case. It's this huge team effort. How did they not have that basic communication among them?
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Crazy. But all right, guys. So love you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, chat. All of you. I appreciate all of you. And that means all of you. And I do. And I'm sorry it went so long, Curious Rose.
I enjoyed it. It was a lot to talk about. I knew it with Brian, with the laundry. I knew it because a lot of us have just been waiting for something and not expecting that would happen. So I knew it would be interesting. I'm happy you had it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. I just want to say this. I had this thought just now, Sherry, who says, couldn't he have gone to Chris Watt's house? They were all just murdered there.
They made it a crime scene.
And it was a crime scene.
That was when they made it the crime scene for a few hours.
Right, for a couple hours.
So he couldn't.
Yeah. So, man, that is really wow.
It is. It's terrible.
Yeah. Kevin, thank you for the email. I can't wait to check it out. And so thank you guys. I will see you soon. There's a members only live stream tomorrow, 8 p.m. Just
Great.
About,
Good.
Yeah, I've already mentioned it. So I'm really tired, guys.
Go to bed. I'll talk to you tomorrow, Kel. Good night, everyone. I'll see you. Whoever wants to have some trivia, I'll be around in about a half hour.
Sounds good. Thanks,
okay.
honey.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.
My pleasure.
Bye, guys. Everyone stay safe. It's been a really super weird night. So, Turquoise just says, I feel so bad for Ronnie Watts too. I always think about how fast the public knew that Chris Watts did it. So he knew his own son better than anyone. He had to have had an I don't know. But then, you know, I said this earlier about something totally different. Denial is such a real thing. You know. Hi, Jody is cool. I haven't even had a chance to say hello to you this evening. How are you, sweetheart? How are you feeling these days, Jody? Bye, John. We're good. Don't ever tell me I don't appreciate you or respect you like other people, because you know that's not true. It hurt my heart. You know I do. Okay? It's all good. We can talk about all that later, too. I'm just so tired right now. Yes. Thank you, panel, chat mods, everyone. You're all so awesome. If I haven't already said that about somebody, I am remiss. But I need to go sleepy. Oh, we love you, John. Okay. All right, guys. Everyone be safe. Just during the course of this live stream, like 3 different people had these very strange, really big, like emergency kind of things happen. And I don't know if it's something, the moon, something in the air. I don't know. But everyone be safe. We care about y'all. And I will see you tomorrow night or next week. Bye, guys. Bye, little Nick Atkinson.